Good morning, people. What is up, my family? I am very happy to be streaming today yet again. Thank you so much for joining me one more time, right? Happy Monday to everybody. Happy Monday. My goodness, what is going on in the markets? I keep hearing SONN. What could be happening, you guys? Are we on a good path? Are we about to lose our minds? Is it actually going to be messed up Monday? What is it going to be, right? Let's go ahead and find out exactly what the good deal is, man. What is up, my brother? Happy Monday to you as well, my bro. Yeah, SONN over here, man. That's the talk of the town right now, man. Oh my goodness. Did you hear Finger? What do you mean did I hear? What happened, bro? It's at the resistance that we spoke about. Is right within that target too. Cha-cha, good morning to you, man. What is up, Sebastian Lim? Good to see my moderator in here. Berenson saying, let's go, familia. Good to see you here. XX, let's get Arca more likes to his channel so that we can get some more people to discover his ability. My brother, thank you so much. That means so much to me, man. So now saying, where did you hear that? The last I checked, they said, okay, you're talking to someone else regarding ticker symbol SONN, right? Okay, gotcha. So now, guys, first of all, I gotta say that I'm really impressed that the market's held, considering what's going on in abroad, about the troops and all that crap, right? We're holding on. Okay, so I mean, this is a good thing. Look at the SPY, look at the TQQQ. We're looking great, man. We're looking great. Let's go ahead and pull up SONN and see what could be the deal here, Ben, because I know there's a lot of people asking me what could be happening here, right? And I still want to get over to Very too, because we knew, or we saw, right, the possibility of getting Very to retrace back to that SMA 50 for validation of the golden cross, right? And it looks like it happened. So not bad. Hopium saying, my man, GTI looking strong. That's very good. I'm very happy to hear that, actually, and it should be right within our resistance levels. We're going to go ahead and take a look at all those tickers as we move. Okay, you guys, I feel like I could have warmed up a little more. Miggity mic check, miggity mic check, just like TMI does, right? We could have done that a little harder. I feel like my tongue is about to twist real quick, but it's okay, you guys. We're sharp, we're awake, and we're here. The guy is still asleep, my little guy. All right, so we're in the good zone right now, okay, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk about the verdict here, right? Says my man over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So daily time frame supporting right from the zone that we spoke about. Okay, I know that I gave you guys a tighter target of about 64.81 to 66.76 as an area of support. Of course, we came down just a little bit lower and bounced right off of it. I have to express to you the importance between this zone here, guys. The reason we're rejecting the downside from this zone is because we're in the golden pocket, right? This is the knot 618 and the knot 382. That space is the golden pocket and is a very bullish area to bounce from. Okay, you guys. So I mean, let's see what the shorter time frames are. You know what? Actually, I need to go up time frames and see what's going down. See if there's anything that we need to reclaim or that we're resisting from. Of course, there is. This is the bi-daily Gaussian channel, guys. Take a look at this right here. So the high of the candle here is 83. Let's go ahead and mark off where that 83 is, right over here, right? So this is literally that candle that penetrated the mean band, tried to come back, and we're validating in a relevant area of support. Okay, so I'm not gonna say that this is the end of the downside and we're going to the moon from here, right? But we still have to evaluate that potential. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else could be happening, right? So and let's get creative. Let's look at every time frame. Let's kind of pop the hood here and see what could be happening with the asset, right? So first of all, we're not taking a look at our moving averages here on the upper time frames, which should be a wise thing to do, right? Let's get rid of the Gaussian band, creating a little bit too much of a mess right there, right? So in fact, there is, guys, take a look at the 3-day SMA 50 resistance right over here. We also resisted from that 77.48 that we spoke of, which is absolutely an important zone to combat, right? So let's go ahead and see the shorter time frames. I want to take a look at momentum. I want to see volatility. I want to see what it's doing all in the immediate short term, right? So I'm going to leave these candles just a little bit bigger there in the event to where you are curious. Right, so Very going back to, man, I certainly hope so, right? That would be amazing. But actually, to be honest, I'm not a I'm not opposed to that idea, actually. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is showing the downside. Of course, that would be expected from the immediate short term because there is a faster ebb and flow to consider within this area. Okay, which means that there could be a retest of the inside of this channel one more time, if not the top side, which is again the space of 6681. That would be the higher probability one, to 6481. Okay, you guys, I know these flash wicks right here, they tend to mess up momentum and stuff, but we have to see if it's a valid area of support. Okay, let's see the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame is showing a little bit of an upside pivot. Very curious. Critical volatility being very low right now too. Okay, hourly SMA 50 turning into a resistance, validating our bottom side here yet again. Okay, so notice here on the hourly how this is something to notice here. Okay, take a look at the SMA 200 down here. Okay, I thought this was going to be located within this zone of 6481 by today, but it actually came back all the way back down to where the SMA 200 was at 63.72. Perfect touch, right? It grabbed it very well. Okay, so now the next thing is that we want to look at the buy hourly momentum as well. Let's keep on diagnosing this thing and see what could be happening. Okay, so buy hourly time frame is suggesting a potential slowing down of the current downtrend. Okay, that is not always to be trusted, right? This is we're talking about moving in the precise moment right now. Okay, so what I can see as far as the immediate short-term time frame, yes, it's a retest of this yet again. Okay, so meaning that it would be the biggest or most ideal situation for us to make sure to keep hourly candles above the bottom side of this wick here. So we're gonna keep an eye on this as we move through the day too, right? So 63.60 is that bottom side that we must not fail with any candle closure. I'm talking about hourly and up. Okay, let's make sure to keep that. Let's make sure to keep that there, right? So we'll take a look at that, John. Good to see you here. Of course. Yeah, Berenson saying to add to the list GTBP, please and thank you. Not a problem. We'll look at those. Okay, so Barbara Young, good morning to you. Good to see you here. All right, so guys, remember that we're gonna keep an eye on this. We're gonna mark off a big old trend line here to make sure that we do not fail any type of closing bases, hourly and up, from these candles. Okay, we want to make sure that we don't close them below this area here because that would be an invalidation zone. Okay, that marked it off very, very precisely for us. Okay, so let's make this a bright line, right? So we'll go ahead and leave it as let's make it 4. All right, and there it is. Let's keep an eye on the markets for ticker symbol SONN, guys, but it's not looking like doomsday unless it really starts failing major supports. Okay, so we're still okay. Let's make sure that we can keep these supports going. We can see a temporary bounce from this side again, maybe even a consolidation period within this zone. Okay, but remember that we spoke about consolidating within this area anyway. Right, so let's just see if we can combat these zones for a continuation to the upside. And seeing that the markets are not as bearish as I thought, then that could apply some pretty positive pressure for the asset in general too. Okay, you guys. So with that said, let me just look at the SPY real quick. SPY is at 433.30. We have 39.04 on the TQQQ. It's not looking bad whatsoever. Okay, so very still pushing to the upside here. 142 bouncing from that SMA 50 that we spoke about just yesterday. That SMA 50, guys, if you don't remember or if you don't recall, I am speaking of the validation of this SMA 50 and Golden Cross. Okay, so we spoke about this. We knew this was coming, all right? And this is how we knew. This was the prior iteration where we got that SMA 50 cross, right? Let's go ahead and point it out. Let's give it a quick little circle here and show you, all right? So this area right over here is what I'm looking at, okay? Notice how we got that SMA 50 cross on very price action, went parabolic here, and then as soon as it reached the relevant top, which just so happened to be some historical resistance, of course, it came back to validate the SMA 50. That would be the test. That would be the test to come back and validate the Golden Cross. And then price action led to the upside and continued onwards and upwards, right? Now, whatever happened here, this capitulation was due to, I think it was a failure of the proposition of the drug that we're currently on right now. Again, so now this is not a failure. What I am really looking at this as is the retest. So people were asking me, I think as soon as let's see, as early as Thursday or Wednesday last week, saying, Arca, what do you think? Are we going to touch the 120 zone once again? Are you feeling like we're going to test that SMA 50 soon or whatever? Well, this could be it right here, guys. Okay, so we have to maintain our posture here. We have to see what the prior probabilities are, right? And this is honestly something that we did look at prior. We knew that we were going to face a resistance here, a support here. Okay, you guys, that's why we drew this box here. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on ticker symbol VIRI as well. All right, we're going to make sure to see what the deal is as the day moves. Right, so now a lot of people talking about FNGR as well. What the heck is going on with that? I am very excited to see the immediate short-term timeframes with heavy thrust to the upside. Every moving average turning into this like support, which is absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and make this a little convoluted, right? So I want to show you something right now. This channel here for ticker symbol FNGR, this one, that is our resistance at the present moment, okay? Of course, we said to ourselves that we're going to draw, we're going to reclaim the inside of this ascending channel, which, by the way, we rode in for quite some time, right? We broke down below it. We came back to the top of it, tested the resistance, validated our current support, then reclaimed the inside of the channel, okay? Retracement back to validate the support again and continuation. This is one of the reasons why we're facing some resistance right now, okay? We're facing the resistance because, first of all, yes, we have an inflection point right up here that we marked off as a very strong area of support and top side of a range, right? And also the top side of our channel. Okay, so it's only expected for us to get a pullback right here. The good thing is that price is sitting at 390. We have that 2-spot 618 located right at 380. We are in the process of converting this 618 target, this 618 ratio, into a support. Good thing. This is a very good thing. Okay, you guys. Another thing you should notice, check out the volume. Okay, we have this 4 hour. We have now several, actually 1, 2, and 3 4-hour candles upside of the moving average. That is usually a signal for longs to get moving here, right? So I'm definitely liking FNGR. Let's keep an eye on it as well. I definitely see a continuation to the upside. Okay, so before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and leave here on the master layout ticker symbol BBAI because I was asked for it, right? So we're going to take a look at that as well. Okay, guys, no problem. We'll see what's going down in the markets. Okay, so let's see. BBAI. I know that someone else asked me for this ticker. Let me go ahead and see the chat, right? These nuts saying sun bearish shark pattern. To tell you the truth, I'm not very familiar with that pattern, and to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of patterns in general. But if it has enough. What are Vato Loco says cryptic trader? If it has enough belief, within the retail community, then it may be a good thing to consider, right? So let me load up another one here, which is for my brother over there. Gonna do a master layout real quick, and keep in mind TTOO as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and post that up, and GTBP, right? Somebody mentioned that was Berenson. We'll go ahead and do that as well. So TTOO, and we have guys, we'll go and take a look at a couple of these tickers, right? So definitely a little weird failure happening here. We're definitely in need of checking out our present moment in these tickers. Okay, you guys. So what's next? We said GTBP, right? All right. So yeah, it's gonna be a master layout instance, and let's load it right over here, you guys, so we don't forget, right? So GTBP. Okay, so yeah, why don't we go ahead and take a look at whatever GTII is doing in the present moment, right? So okay, we'll leave this ready. We already knew that we had these targets here listed too. Awesome. All right, good deal. Let's go back here and take a look at what happened. Even COSM, right? COSM facing some pressures right now. It is still at the golden pocket located at 314, likely why it's holding, but sometimes that's not enough to hold, right, you guys? But we'll keep an eye on this, right? But this is a very good area to be in. We could bounce from this zone. We'll just have to take a look at the price action as we move, okay, you guys? So going into GTII, we spoke of the potential resistance right up here, right? So that's going to be 95.99 to around the top side of about $1 to face today, right? So the resistance is actually right at that level. Literally, when I hover over this candle here, you can see in the OHLC values right up here what that high is on H. That's 96 coming down right to the penny that we spoke about, right? Except 1 micro penny off. one Satoshi off. Hello, Indra. Good to see you here. Samantha H, moderator Samantha. Good to see you here in the chat. And man, so what are you talking about, Ali? SMFL giving you some troubles or what? Sebastian Lim, of course, we can go ahead and load up that ticker as well, my brother. Let's go ahead and load up VCIG, right? So this is one of the plays that you were talking about last week, right? So, guys, if you don't know, Sebastian Lim is the moderator here and one of our chart analysts as well in the Discord members server, right? So let's go ahead and load up VCIG into there. Okay, is GNS making moves? I heard there was some kind of fundamental catalyst coming out today for that. I'm talking to you, Jersey. So GNS had some fundamental news, right? I think it was supposed to make some pretty parabolic moves today, which I'm very curious about, actually, because we know who's the CEO for that. That was Roger Hamilton is the CEO for GNS, right? And I heard that he's doing some pretty nice moves. That guy does not mind being behind the limelight. All right. Oh my goodness, man. So VCIG, let's go ahead and load it up. And leave it. Oh yeah, it's VCIG doing exactly what we were talking about, right? Very, very impressive timing too, because we also saw it potentially breaking out right around here today. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this right now. I do suspect this to reach a little bit of a higher target, potentially between the space of about 746 to around, maybe 785 at the top side, retrace back to validate our current resistance now into support, and then a continuation onto the upside. There is a possibility to where we can make this upside today, but seeing that the volume here is not as strong as I would like to see it, VCIG could actually face a little bit of a pullback here and then recover and end up closing just under the area of 799 today. Okay, if that FOMO doesn't kick in, we won't see this 917 to 959 today. If the FOMO does, today we can see that. But if it works, if it actually moves organically, then we could actually see this touch more like tomorrow. Okay, you guys. But yeah, we were looking at this as a high potential upside target. Upside asset, and it is making that upside that we're talking about. Okay, good deal. Very, very happy for Sebastian to call that out. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, right? So we want to. We want to come back to GTI real quick, guys. Please remember that we are in a pretty nice area, right? So everybody was telling me that we were about to capitulate and go back to the ground. Guys, I'm not going to suggest that unless the asset is going to suggest that in the charts, right? So it's not that I'm being overly bullish. It's not that I'm being that I want to pump anything, right? It's just I'm going to iterate and I'm going to state whatever the charts are saying, and that's it, right? You guys, there's no problem within that. We'll go ahead and maintain or keep a close eye on GTI as well, just like we are with ticker symbol SONN, right? SONN coming back to the targets that we spoke about, right? Already within that, testing the same zone that we spoke about, guys. That was a higher probability thing. We want to make sure that it is a valid area of support before we can continue to that upside. Okay, so just remember that, all right? And you know what? Before I forget, let's go ahead and leave on a master layout over here, ticker symbol GNS as well, right? So we want to make sure that we can see whatever the hype is talking about. But very impressive moves for VCIG thus far, okay? So GNS is going to be the asset for this one here, right? And this is a NYSE Arca ticker. All right, perfect. Let's go back here. And actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about something yesterday during the during my lectures for my students track 1 and track 2. Track 2, was it? No, track 1, we spoke, the more advanced ones, right? We spoke about the potential of a short play coming up for ticker symbol MSFT, which is Microsoft, right? We identified what could potentially be a larger scale. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way, which is immediate short-term time frame. We identified a potential bear flag, right, or an ascending triangle in the shorter time frame. This gave us the higher probability today that we would face failure of this triangle and essentially get a bounce to the upside to maybe look to get long anywhere between the zone of get short anywhere between the zone of 334.85 to around 335.92. That would essentially be the get short target here for a potential psychological drop to 330.08. So we're talking about a multi-point move towards the downside here on a short scalp. And this was honestly something that they asked me to take a look at, and I was like, oh, well, let's go ahead and see what those probabilities are, right? And there it goes, right? It's already succeeding the downside that we spoke of a little earlier than we thought, but still within the same range of price, right? So very good thing there, you guys. Is looking like it could just recover real quick, make its little downside capitulation, and then recover. It's not bad whatsoever, okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and now pull up ticker symbol BBAI, and we'll see what the good deal is right over here, right? Johnny Barnes coming in right in the chat here, of course, my brother. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker. Which is it? Let's see, master layout. We'll go ahead and evaluate it, my bro. Of course, not a problem whatsoever. Okay, so that was ALLR and Jersey talking about BBBYQ, right? So that actually, let's go ahead and put it in some kind of order here, right? That's going to be BBBYQ, and this is going to be ALLR. That is okay. Let's see. All right, guys, so I do have to warn you that my wife is actually going to be leaving to work a little bit earlier today, so she may be in at any minute. I'll just put you in a quick little pause. When she does get here, say goodbye to her. Come right back. All right, but see, she's not here just quite yet. All right, you guys, so yeah, this is ALLR. We are already talking about this downside anyway, huh? All right, so let's go back to ticker symbol BBAI and kind of dissect the probabilities here. Okay. Since I am in this time frame, we can actually move these things a little bit faster without having to look at the daily valuations, right? But please notice this, but the bi-hourly RSI is currently at support, right? So this means that the 4-hour and the 6-hour may be close or at a support as well. This is the SMA 14 represented by a pink line in the RSI. This is a standard setup of the RSI, by the way. Okay, so let's pull up the 4-hour and see what support we're looking at. Okay, it's actually under. And the bi-hourly could be that saving grace. Oh my goodness, yeah. Let's see what the hourly is saying. Hourly is just surpassing it ever so slightly. The 30 minutes should be too. Bi-hourly, if we fail this SMA 14, it's okay for us to penetrate it a little bit and then reclaim it, right? But what I mean is if we fail it, as in we cross to the downside and come back and test it and continue below it, then there is further downside to look at for BBAI. But thus far, this is a very critical 47 minutes that we're facing right now, and it's hard for me to tell exactly what could be happening here. But what I can tell you that I like is this. Okay, so this is the 30-minute time frame, giving us the probability or the possibility to get long this asset if it still has some pretty good thrust to the upside. Is there news today? No, Reuters. That was June 12th, and we are not on June 12th right now, so no big deal. I hate that I can't actually pull up my damn menu over here. Oh yeah, I know how to do it. There we go. So we're at about 8. Let's see, 6:26. Yeah, it's been a while since it actually released any type of fundamental metrics. Okay, so here he goes, facing a little bit more of a downside here, which I'm a little scared of the bi-hourly getting failed. Ooh, ever so slightly there. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and see what that downside could be. Let me get rid of all these indicators and see what's going on in the price action itself. All right, now I really do need to see it. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see. I mean, there is a very, very distinguished downside here. I'm talking about a descending triangle. All right, hold on just a moment. And or a potential falling wedge, which we could be breaking out of right now. Interesting. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna draw. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and see if it fits. Something like this, right? Support touch was just recently, literally on Friday, actually. And then we could actually favor that downside with something like this. Actually, it would be more along the lines of this. Okay, so if this is the case, then we could be in a very bullish stance right now. Okay, so this is test number 1 of the resistance, 2, 3, right? We have a reaccumulation period, and now this would be the breakout plus retest of the newly converted resistance into support before a bounce, right? So I'm speculating here, right? And it looks okay. It doesn't look bad at all. The price action could be in the process of creating a retest down here, okay? But remember, since we are looking at this on the daily, this is kind of a big time frame, right? So we have to consider that too. Yeah, Johnny Barnes saying 42 watching, only 22 likes. What is the deal, you guys? Make sure to give that channel a little squeeze on that on that like button so that we can encourage more people to come and take a look at us, right? Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Really appreciate you. Let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here on BBAI. Looking not bad. Yeah, GTBP is definitely something that we're going to take a look at. No problem at all, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, you guys, okay? So yeah, there could be a retest again, right? It's normal, you guys. We have to validate these conversions. So in other words, this around here, or I mean, even at the current price at 227, this would essentially be one of those scale in targets, because if you didn't get this entry here right down at about 213 or 212, then there may be a secondary chance to this, but it may not be as low. Okay, so let's pull up a moving average to see if there's anything of support there. In fact, the EMA 21 has turned into a resistance, so that could very well help us continue on to the downside here, potentially face one lower area. Okay, and I thought that we wouldn't be able to come down a little bit lower, but it looks like we actually could. What I must warn you is that this is the invalidation range with this one wick to the downside. So let's make sure to note that here. We don't want to close the daily candle below $2.13, okay? Because if we close $2.13, the only thing that we have below us is just these supports here and the SMA 200. It's powerful, but that introduces a very high probability for failure. Okay, so yeah, and there's actually a smaller time frame falling wedge here too, with a breakout and a retest of its support. Okay, not bad, not bad. I think ALLR could be just reaccumulating here for another run to the upside. So that's good to consider, right? So let me see the 30-minute immediate short-term downside on momentum, increasing volatility. That's nice. Okay, let's see the hourly. This looks corrective. Let's see the bi-hourly if it has a upside. Nice. Okay, so the bi-hourly does have that upside, which means that we are currently at a relevant support, which is, yeah, we were speaking about it right over here, right? So let's see the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame is starting to be a little reactive towards those shorter time frames. So yeah, you guys, the fact that the 4-hour is not quite ready just yet tells me that there is still a downside to go. Or to keep into consideration, and I do have to favor the bottom side of about 2. Man, I really hope it's not the case, right? But yeah, around 217 to 223 retest before a bounce to the upside. Okay, keep those targets in mind. All right, you guys. So let's see what's going on with ticker symbol TTOO. Oh man. Okay, let's pull up maybe the 8-hour time frame and see what the deal is here. Okay, so guys, this is playing an inverse play. Actually, this is now turning into a bigger bear flag than what we thought, right? So TTOO, while it was making this consolidation period, there is still a chance that we can reclaim the inside of this channel, thus creating a bear trap, right? So we have to identify that potential, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at RSI within the 12-hour or daily. Okay, so the daily, there we go. Okay, so the daily has the support that we're looking for, and notice how we've actually been using it as a guide towards the upside. We're on our way towards the downside to face that support. Okay, so in relevance to price action, where could that be? Well, let's go ahead and pull up some moving averages. Let's go ahead and pull up whatever we can to see if we can have an edge over that target, right? So daily time frame, what is it? Let's go ahead and pull up even the Gaussian channel. Oh, well, actually, maybe. Yeah, actually, maybe. We're going to pull up the Gaussian in the upper time frames too. So by daily time frame, let's see. This thing is way up here, or way, oh my goodness, that thing is way up there. Okay, so maybe into the very higher term time frames. Do we have any possibility there? Nothing there. Weekly time frame, and geez Louise. Okay, so the Gaussian channel is definitely out of the question, way outside of the money. And let's go back to the daily time frame and see what else we can get creative with, right? Even if they have to be lower time frame moving averages, anything that we can find. Okay, so let's see the 4-hour. Oof. Okay, I don't want to rely on just geometrics, but that looks like it may have to be the case here. Okay, because there is, yeah, I don't see any moving averages that are relevant below us. And that is usually the result of a huge capitulation period, of course, right? So let's see. Let's keep on getting creative. Yeah, we're gonna have to add the inverse fibs. Let's do that so that we can see at least where we can support from. Aside from that, of course, you guys, there is actually a further range of support that we have right now. Sorry for being so silent. I'm thinking, right? So here we go. Okay, so I think I see it. We're going to mark it off right here. Okay, there could be a bounce from this candle low, this wick low, right at around the target of about 681, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and draw it right in there. Okay, and then we have, yeah, I guess since we're going to fail that support, this could be the next one. Okay, let's get rid of this for now. And keep this in mind. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this too. Okay, so yeah, the support that I'm currently looking at is between 681 and 699, and there could be a touch to the very bottom side of this, and it would still be okay, right? So yeah, keep your eyes on that target there, okay? Because this is honestly, I'm not getting anything. I'm not really getting anything else. I guess I can take a normal fib from this zone here. So let me do that instead. Right, so this wick right down here is going to give us some pretty nice answers, right? So there we go. Check this out. We have the discretionary target of about 681 to 699 or 7 cents, right? Right at 7 cents. The 618 is being used right now as an area of support. So yeah, the 618 target is very important for us to consider. Also, the bottom side of 681, we're talking about 671 at the 1.272. So this is very impressive that we're able to identify these zones of support, right? Because they are incredibly important. All right, so yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to be as far down as we can go in the immediate short-term time frame. 681 could be the very bottom side for this. Okay, so UCAR is at your invalidation buy zone now. Yeah, that's usually what happens, man. It usually is the zones of invalidation that turn out to be the best ones to gain entry. And if that's the case, keep your eye on momentum, keep your eye on volatility as well, okay? So that's definitely something we don't want to mess around with, okay? So anyway, you guys, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. TTOO looking pretty good. A very nice bounce from this zone here. Lots of support within that area there. Okay, so let's go to GTBP and see what the deal is here, right? So let's see, 8-hour time frame. We can load up a higher term time frame to see what could be happening within this ascending channel, right? So could be 12-hour to maybe the 8-hour would do a little justice. Okay, yeah, I would honestly have to favor the 8-hour in this case, and it looks like oh man, I don't know that we're this could be too premature. What I'm saying about premature is that the downside that we're facing here looks a little scary, and I would not get short this asset whatsoever. And I'm saying this because we're only facing test number 1 and test number 2. Test number 2 with a valid, that means we're validating the inside of this channel. We also have 1, 2. Yeah, we also have 2 tests of the support down here as well. So that also validates the trend. So the fact that we're breaking down below the trend line makes me feel that this could be setting up a liquidity trap, particularly to the shorts. Okay, so if there is a further downside to look at, then we could have faced it already at about 29.96 GTBP. Okay, so this could be making this could be in the process of recovering here, specifically to test the area of 3306 as a resistance, and then potential pullback to test the current highs, right around 331.66. Okay, so we have to keep an eye on this. It does look, it looks eerily familiar to a dead cat bounce as well, which is another reason that I think that this could be just setting up a liquidity trap towards the downside. There are a lot of signals here that are suggesting bears, but really all of these signals are also very, how can I say, they're premature. I can't use a better word. They're very premature signals. Okay, so 30-minute time frame. Let's go to the momentum and see what's going down. So 30-minute immediate short-term time frame in stochastics, suggesting this tiny little pivot towards the downside. Guys, you know how I feel about these pivots. I don't like them. 30-minute about to find that support too. Okay, okay, you guys, hold on just a sec. My wife just got here. Just got to go say goodbye. She is leaving to work now, team. Hold on just a moment, guys. Get some tunes into your ears. Got to say goodbye to the little lady. Just a sec, guys. Okay, team, we are back. We are back, and we said hello. We said hello. We said goodbye to the little lady, and she is now on her way to work. Right? Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Really appreciate everybody for coming by. Make sure to hit that like button, you guys. If you're just stepping in, make sure to hit the bell notification so that you can be aware of whenever I do post a video or go live. Thank you so much for your help too, moderators. Appreciate you so much. So yes, and now. I'm sorry. So Driz, we are definitely going to look at COSM. Okay, so keep your eyes on that. All right. Anyway, back to GTBP. We could be facing that support right now, right? So it's not looking bad, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly time frame. We want to see what momentum is doing. Is it reactive towards an upside just yet? Right, the hourly time frame RSI is also within that. Let me just lift this over here. Right, the hourly RSI is also within that potential support zone. Like I said, guys, it's okay that we fail it, ever so slightly here, but to recover it is also the important thing. Okay, so we could be in the process of validating this SMA 14, which is also indicative of finding some type of floor here. All right, so let's go to the bi-hourly time frame and see what's going down there. Okay, so very low volatility right now. In fact, it's decreasing ever so slightly too. We want to make sure that we can get some more trading volume, and that could actually that could help. They could assist in the price action too. All right, so bi-hourly. I mean, this spinning top doji, right? A little bit of an indecision here, which is exactly why we're looking at this. So. Are you bullish? Sorry, that was not towards me, right? Let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame and see what's going down, right? 4-hour time frame also has a very nice little pivot towards the upside, increasing volatility, but we do have a resistance coming up relative to the 4-hour. It's specifically the SMA 14. Okay, so what could that be though? What could that resistance be? Well, let's see. The distance between the 4-hour RSI signal and the SMA 14 is indicative of potential 3306 resistance, but there could be a moving average up there. Okay, in fact, I would say I would have to favor the SMA 10, the green line, actually, right at about 31.69. And let's see, the 4-hour EMA 21 and 55, that could be the other resistance zone. Okay, so we have to keep an eye on this resistance, as there could be a potential liquidity trap for the downside at play. We are overextended to the downside. This is not, in other words, this would be FOMO from short sellers, right? And this would be them trying to capitalize on something if they're not paying attention to the stochastic momentum, of course, right? Yes, we'll go ahead and load that one up too, my brother. So that's going to be what? VOCL. Let's load it up on a master layout here and put it on for the team. Right, so let's see. So this is gonna, let's go. Here we go. So VLCL, we'll leave it on there, and we'll also take a look at COSM2. Good morning, Rocket Lock. Good to see you here, man. Thank you so much for stepping in. Thank you so much for joining the action here with the team, right? So VLCL making some pretty nice moves to the upside. Let's try to get to these tickers, right, you guys? So, anyway, GTBP. Oh, look at that. We actually got that bounce to the upside, looking pretty nice on that TTOO. Looking good. Let's see, COSM not looking so hot this morning. I believe we are to join the Russell Microcap at market close today. I thought it was already listed on there. I'm going to show you something. I was going to put out a video today, making a formal announcement with the Arca Bulls partnership, my partnership with Cosmos Health. But I'll go ahead and show you here, all right? So, Vet saying hi. How you doing? Anyway, back to GT. What was it? We were at GTBP. Yeah, you guys. So I have to favor those resistances on GTBP. Okay, so we have to combat the zone of between once again 31.73 and about 32.49. As soon as we can get upside of that with a 4-hour closure, then we can still see a continuation to the upside, and it would create essentially that liquidity trap for the bears. I have to remind you of something that we've been looking at from this ticker, right? Is a very, very a larger time frame here. I'm talking about maybe the 12-hour or the daily is where we were looking at this. Yeah, daily. This is a broadening descending wedge, okay, you guys? So this very formation is a bullish statement from the asset itself. Okay, you guys. So if we are going to face a very nice upside from this, it could be relevant to a very near future. Okay, you guys, so, I mean, if per the playbook rules, it does have a price target of about $1.11, right? Very, very big, but of course, we just have to keep our eyes on it, right? So, Vettel, thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate you so much. I hope that you're able to understand me, even through a translator, right? So yeah, but I appreciate you so much for coming by today. Thank you so much for all your love. All right, so TTG saying, all right, I would like to make at least a few percent. I'm out of SONN. Okay, so you just pulled out of it? Okay. So FNGR burst. What's going down? Let's go back and look at that before we move on to VCIG. Right, there you go, guys. Remember that the topside target that I am looking for today is still within this range that we spoke of, right, in the videos. So that's going to be 424 that I'm looking at before a potential retracement. That, I mean, is already getting very close. We're already combating that 372 at 408, but still 423, 424 could be that immediate topside target to look at before we can face a resistance here. So if guys, you know that I am a short-term trader, I usually will find my exits right away. I do not want to hold on to assets too long, but FNGR is looking massively bullish, right? Looking like it's squeezing towards that upside. Remember, as closer we get to that 424 target, there is a higher likelihood for a potential retracement even early. Okay, so this may very well be it at 414, but there is still the chance for it. Okay, momentum is still very much pivoted towards the upside for FNGR. Keep your eyes on it, okay? But I am giving you those targets, okay? So if it's not going to be that 424, then very likely it already happened at the top side of, let's see, 414, right? So let's see if we can combat that top side there, okay, you guys? So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to ticker symbol VCIG and see what it's got going, right? So this was essentially the ticker that we were talking about for a potential breakout out of a symmetrical triangle, right? So where'd you expecting it to retrace, says Sebastian Lim. Very good question. Okay, so GT BP, was it the one that we were done? No, FNGR. So FNGR retracement, let's see. So we're currently sitting at 391. Yeah, so let's first of all This is the 4-hour time frame, right? So let me pull out some moving averages and the daily too. Okay, oof, that's a little too strong of a downside right there, right? So let's just find out what that drop could actually entail. All right, so yeah, naturally I would have to give you the 2-spot 272 at 365. Okay, but that it really depends on how high we get here, right? So if we do touch the 423, meaning that we can get a little wick to the upside of this, that would really trigger a pretty strong temporary sell-off, as it is a very, very critical range high. Okay, before a very huge capitulation, we have to take that into heavy consideration when we're trading, right? So we can only expect shorts to open very aggressive at 423. Anywhere between 408 and 423, right? So if we do drop with very aggressive price action, then we can expect a drop all the way down. So I'm not kidding you. We can face 336. Failure of this, retest of the 272 at 365, right, as a resistance, eventually come all the way back down to test a knot 618 at 293. Okay, so that could be a very, very vicious cycle here, of which then we could face potential support. I actually didn't notice this right now, but it's hard to see it, so we'll change the color just ever so slightly. So notice here that the SMA 200 is located right within our previous support zone. Okay, or there was a resistance zone that we faced, right? So that it even brings a higher likelihood here. And oh my goodness, are we getting close to, oh my goodness, yeah, so the SMA 100 and 200 are converging close to each other here. That could be a very bullish thing for us too, as far as a support, right? So keep your eyes on that, okay? I'm hearing Vettel saying no. But anyway, team, let's see. Let's go back to the ticker symbol. Yeah, no. So Berenson saying thanks for going over GTBP later on if we can dive into VIRI. Yes, absolutely. We're gonna look at VIRI even more so. Okay, so let's just try to keep ourselves aware of it. If I'm not looking at it, please remind me too. Okay. So you're talking about Andrew Nguyen TGG, the guy on I think he looks maybe either Thai or Filipino, and he has like a really badass car in his picture, like he's like a rich dude. Is that who you're talking about? So VCIG is now below 7, so let's go to VCIG and take a look at this, right? Yeah, oof, yes, these could be, let me see. Is it? Wow. Let me see this in a shorter time frame. Oh man. Let's see. Test. Arguably, no, definitely. This is just test number 1 here and test number 2. Now, symmetrical triangles don't always have to follow the golden rule of 3, as they're more likely to break out without that test. I'm saying it's likely to break out also without that requirement, right? But I mean, it doesn't and it doesn't. Okay, so now that we know that speculation, let's go ahead and pull up momentum in the shorter time frames. So massively, we have a massive upside pivot on the 30-minute. That means that this is absolutely pushing everything into the hourly and bi-hourly and potentially the 4-hour too. That's a huge thrust, okay? Hourly time frame, of course, we have the momentum pivoted towards the upside here, increasing massive volatility right now and still suggesting an upside. Let's go to the bi-hourly time frame. Bi-hourly time frame starting to react to that 30-minute impulsive move to the upside too. I hate the little notch, but we have to keep it into consideration here because we have inclining volatility, meaning that there are more trades starting to show up, or the disbursement of returns, right? We're getting more inbound cash. And notice here that the bi-hourly time frame is crossing upside of the SMA 14. It's very bullish. And even in the MACD, right, we're still getting some diminishing of bear pressure and a potential bullish cross of the MACD signal, right? So that could be something to look at too, right? So yeah, keep your eyes on that, right? Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame reactive to the shorter time frames as well, with increasing volatility, by the way. Okay, so I don't think VCIG is done here. In fact, we could have just missed a potential long zone, right? So that long zone could have been at 626. If we do get there, if we do reach anywhere between 626 and 648, I would heavily consider a potential simulator entry, trading paper, right? Paper trading entry. We want to make sure to keep retail safe, right? And try to keep them away from trading their live cash, right? We want to train first, you guys, just like the athletes do. We want to train for this. We want to practice it. We want to make sure that we know every rule from it before we can actually put ourselves on the field. All right, you guys, so train like athletes for these types of things, okay? But yeah, if you see any type of retracement back to 648 to around 626, man, that would be a potential long entry for this, because there is a breakout in underway. Okay, now if you want to play this more like as a conservative trader, then wait for the pullback from a breakout. Okay, so very likely this is to reach the 799 zone. Wait for the pullback, because your entry would essentially be right around the same place now, 692 to 703, validation of support. Then you continue on to the upside. Get at least maybe a 4-hour or 8-hour candle closure upside of this resistance, and then you'll be good, right? So, but if you're playing for a breakout here, a breakout scalp, yeah, anywhere between that 649 to around 626, yeah, gain that entry there, and potential exit zone could be at around 746, marking off, let's see how much on the day. Let's just take into consideration the top side of the wick here, and let's see that if we reach, yeah, wow, potential 10% to around 15% scalp, and then I would liquidate position, re-enter with validation down here again at about 692 to 703. Okay, so if you do see that, this would be pretty aggressive trading, right? In and out, in and out, in and out. Catch your gains, get out. Do not play the moonshot game. Make your own moonshot happen, okay? But what I do have to say, guys, is that yes, I still have to favor this formation as a very bullish a continuation formation, okay? So especially during an upside, building a symmetrical triangle like this can be nothing but bullish news, right? Also remember that it can be played again against us. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so next we're going to look at GNS, but let's touch down with the tickers that we've been looking at thus far. Okay, here we go. This is the touch that we were waiting for on ticker symbol SONN, validating the supports yet again. Okay, higher probability targets we were talking about was 6481 to about 6676. Touching down again, guys. We were already able to see this. No panic zone here. Okay, we knew that we were going to come back here about 20 to 30 minutes ago already, right? So, yeah, I can expect a pretty nice bounce anywhere between these zones, right? So I would say 63.52. Yet again, remember, we don't want to start closing hourly candles beneath that 63.52 invalidation zone. But usually, my greatest entries are found at invalidation zones, because those are the zones where a lot of longs tend to try to get in, right? The interesting part of the lower end of demand zones, okay, you guys, it's very important for you to identify those areas of demand versus areas of supply, okay? Even if you identify it with a formation, even if you identify it with a moving average, whatever it is, whatever tickles your pickle, then that's the way you got to follow it, okay, team? So see, not sure if I want to hold. Definitely will exit the green day. Yes, if you are green on the day, and if you're a green on the asset, why let green go to red, right? There's no reason why. But another thing is that yes, we could see a potential bounce here and see where that can go, obviously, right? So yeah, if we're looking at raw price action here, very clearly we can see either a bounce from 64.81 or a retest of 63.52. Okay, so keep your eyes on this, okay? There's no fault in actually just taking your profits, right? Running in the green, compounded again upon validation, all right? So you know the play already. All right, but that's what I can tell you, is that we know that this could be making this. I mean, this is the way we saw it too, right? I'm pretty sure that we drew something along the lines of this, right? So we are facing this ascent here pretty nicely. Another thing that we could look at is actually something very curious here. I didn't notice. Let me see. It's the buy. I hate the bi-hourly formations, by the way. I do have to be very honest with you. Okay, so guys, if this is the case, then that you may not be in the wrong here of trying to take profit early, and it's with specific reason is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let me show you something here. It's just I hate the bi-hourly time frames, you guys. These time frames are they're too small for me to give high regard to formation theory, right? So let me see if this is it here, right? So just something, I want to see if I can get a good contact point. My goodness, I think it could be like, let me see. Come on. Okay. Yeah, this could be the breakdown and validation here of an ascending broadening wedge, which is bearish. Okay, so we have a test number 1, we have test number 2, and fake out test 3, capitulation on test 3, bounce, right, naturally, and this becomes a dead cat bounce, actually figures, gets the bottom side target of that, then we come back up and validate the resistance of this, oh my goodness. Okay, so there are some potentials here, you guys, that can actually give us a further downside. Okay, so I'm not too sure of this, but I'm starting to get this little spidey sense over here that there could be a further capitulation to look into. Okay, hold on. Let me see the 8-hour time frame. What's going on there? 6-hour time frame. One more time. Okay. Closing this 12-hour candle in 4 hours and 14 minutes will mark off a very, very bearish candle structure. That would be a bearish engulfing, following a shooting star. Very, very, very likely to continue to the downside after these types of formations. I'm happy that you asked me to look at it again, because there is something else happening here too. It's very interesting that this is trying to, like, I don't understand how this bearish formation is trying to do this at oversold percentile. It really doesn't make all that sense in the world. Let's see. I mean, actually, it still has space. It could technically. Okay, you guys. So this is raising too many flags, and it's raising way too many little like ticks in my mind. I have to be honest with you. I am not liking what I'm seeing here, and I would honestly already start to maybe just consider pulling the plug here. Remember, I am not by any means any type of financial advisor. Okay, so these nuts. Are you talking about? I'm not sure what that pattern is, to be clear with you, right? I've never actually seen that pattern myself. Let me see if I can actually just pull it up here and see what the deal is, right? So. Because usually the formation theory works with the belief that it's gonna work, right? So, yeah, some people call that like a bearish bat or something too. I've seen that, or a Gartley pattern, right? Could that be it? And what time frame are you looking at that in, by the way? SOUN and Viri to add later to the list. Yeah, we have to take a look at SOUN too. But guys, I have to tell you that I'm not. Let's see. I'm not excited to see this here, at least for, of course, a long's perspective, right? Guys, per the traditional trading rules of ascending broadening wedge. I'm sorry that I'm being a little pensive here. I want to make sure that I'm trying to invalidate the downside any way I can. Okay, so while we can face temporary upsides from these bounce zones, that's all fine. But eventually, if this bi-hourly formation gets realized, the take profit for this is essentially back down to 42.34. Okay, so that's that I'm going to mark it off there just in case, okay? But that usually happens with this formation here, okay? So this would be the playbook take profit for the shorts, right, to cover. This would be it right down here. So let me actually mark it off in a different way so that we can identify it later on, right? We'll make it a little bit of a brighter color too. Okay, so this is essentially the take profit for this formation here, okay? So in fact, it's going to, I mean, this drop here from this point to this point is already like the span of about a day and a half, and especially this thing here. So yeah, guys, I'm a little freaked out by this formation here. Usually it's a pretty bearish formation. Okay, so if you're in the green, I would you know what I'm gonna say. But please remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't actually suggest that. What if it just moons from here? I don't know that, right? But this formation here is just it is bearish. Okay, so. And if we can use the bears as a liquidity trap, let's see. Let me get rid of this here. If we can use them as a liquidity trap, then there is a high probability that it can happen down here at 5507, right? But please remember that I did mention before that closing anything below 5233 could be an invalidation of this entire upside here, and we can face a further downside. I think I mentioned this the last time too. I said we can face a further downside specifically to around 4241, which would be the bottom side of this range here. So if I was already looking at it from a supply and demand perspective, and now the formation is coming out, that brings a little more belief to the play, to the short play. I'm talking about a downside play, right? So keep your eyes on that. All right. So I want to make sure that you maintain yourself as safe as possible. Okay. So call it whatever you want, right? Say that Arca called it right now. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it as, just know that I'm warning of a potential downside starting with an immediate bounce zone, which could serve, depending on the conditions at the time, it could serve as a very, very awesome area to create this is bear trap territory, okay? Bear trap, meaning that we could use them as liquidity, short positions, and have them start squeezing or covering towards that upside, right? So meaning that this could be an immediate downside here, and that would be usually when you face this type of downside from this point to this point, there's going to be a reversion to the mean, which would be a bounce to 61.29 before a continuation to the way down. We have to validate that when we get there. Okay? I'm probably getting too much uncertainty from me. yeah. I mean, if you're getting uncertainty from me, then I would have to agree with you. I mean, we're already kind of bouncing away from the zones that we spoke of, right? But this formation here is kind of it's notorious for realizing with a high hit rate. But what I would say is that it has a high hit rate on higher time frames. I haven't tested these too much in the shorter time frames because they often invalidate. Oh, right. You're talking about getting out of SONN. I see. Yeah, so I honestly would already be considering taking the profits and running, right, and seeing if we could get in cheaper, because SONN is not done. This is a natural ebb and flow, and it does have to take a breather here and there, you guys. We're talking about being up from 20 cents here. So how far has it made? You're looking at a potential 520% move to the upside thus far. Okay, so yeah, at some point it will have to take a breather here and reaccumulate, which is very reminiscent of this, right? So huge downside from this point here, and then a big recovery, right? And now there's another downside to look at, right? So it could be a reaccumulation zone. It doesn't have to take profit down here at 42.34, guys. It doesn't have to. I'm just saying that there is that potential, okay? So keep that in your minds, all right? But yeah, we're going to keep on, there we go, look. It's actually reaching the bottom side support that we're talking about at 64.81. Current price is at 65.01. I was talking about a potential short-term bounce between 64.81 and the bottom side of about 63.52 retest of this area here, which means that there is a high likelihood that we may fail an hourly candle below 63.52, which would introduce this very important demand zone. Okay, so what I can say is that if we face this downside here, even today, there could be a significant bounce here to around 61.27, and that would mark off. Let's just say that it did reach the area of about 55.07, right? So a bounce to the upside from this zone to that 60, to that 62 or 61. Yeah, that's already an 11% move to the upside, which could be a very nice reversion play for the immediate short term, right? So that I'm talking about entry 55.11. Get out at 61.20. The immediate gains, right? So this is usually how you're able to play counter trend, right? So keep your eyes on that, all right, you guys? So anyway, that is it for ticker symbol SONN. I know that we still have to look at ticker symbol GNS making a very nice upside. I know that there was some type of fundamental news to come out on this, right? So it doesn't look like it's actually news that it's relevant to the moment. I don't even know where they would release it. Maybe Twitter. right? But yeah, this thing is showing massive signs of upside, specifically on the 4-hour time frame. Huge upside. I know that there's a critical resistance here. Of course, it's usually meant to happen like that. Okay, you guys, we have to combat this zone too. Is there a moving average there? Of course there is. There's the EMA 21 located right above us right now. So as soon as we can get about I would say a 4-hour closure upside of 75 cents, that could actually introduce the potential of raising to the top side of about 82 to around 84 cents. 82 to 84 cents could be the next stop if we do meet that criteria, if we do find that support from the 75 cent conversion. Okay, and in fact, all the time frames are suggesting as such. 6-hour time frame upside, 4-hour time frame upside on momentum, 8-hour time frame upside. Man, yeah, there is a high probability here that this is going to combat the 75, eventually reach that 78.23, and then come back to test the 75 as support. Continuation to the upside. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. In other words, what I'm saying here is that this could be in preparation of a breakout. And what is that breakout exactly? Says Arca. Well, it looks like a falling wedge. So let's go ahead and draw that. It's in the 8-hour time frame too. It's not looking bad whatsoever, right? So let's see if we can gain some perspective here, right? So I would actually have to favor the contact point of these two candles here perfectly with the top side of it, right? So now the next trend line, of course, would come down from around this area here. We have to try to connect them as best as possible. It looks like the wicks are giving us that hint, right? So just something like this here is honestly what I'm seeing, right? So if this is ready to make a resistance touch, let's see. That's going to be test 1, 2. Yeah, test number 3 here could present a very big capitulation, but we have to see if there is some type of something holding us back. And that would be honestly the next target upon validation with a 4-hour minimum candle above 83 cents. Okay, so above 83 cents, next target would be around 91. First of all, we need to make sure that we can get that 75 candle closure above 75, right? Meaning retracement here to 75, validated with a 4-hour closure. Continue onwards and upwards to resist from 83. Or actually, no, resist from about 80, almost 85, come back to 83. There you go, 75, 76. Guys, we're starting to break out of that resistance right now. There could be a pullback starting from about 77.37 to around 78.14. That pullback to reintroduce the 75 cent zone with a 4-hour or maybe even an hourly closure, that is your confirmation before an upside continuation. And that would be an area to get long the asset. So just to kind of put it out there, right? But looking at 2 days ahead, maybe 3 days ahead, there could be a very, very nice move to the upside, upwards of about 20% to around the area of about 88, 86, with ebb and flow through it, of course, not in one shot, but you never know. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at there, okay, you guys? So keep your eyes on GNS. It's looking very, very bullish right now. We are kind of trend trading, okay, and we want to make sure to respect that trend as best as we can. And man, I know that sometimes it's a little difficult to enter halfway the range, right? But with validations and with confirmations, anything is possible, right, team? So man, it's getting a little warm here in the studio. Let me turn on the air because wow, oh wow. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So yeah, you know, we still have a few tickers to look at. I know that I'll pull that up. SOUN, right? We still need to look at Veri one more time. So, but oh yeah, right. Let me just try to get some air up in here. It's ridiculous. And okay, luckily we can control that from the phone, right? So let's go ahead and turn that on. While we're at it, let's see what the big guy is doing. No, don't wake up, man. Just a sec, guys. You know, I probably should give him it's getting warm in his room too. Let me give him a little bit of air. We're going to come right back into this, guys. Just a sec. So master layout, let's go ahead and load up SOUN, right? Just so that we can have it there and look at it right after these other tickers, right? So there we go. Oh my goodness, man. Oh yeah, so SOUN just continuing to meet our upside targets, right? So, very good stuff. I like it. And was RCRT if you have time? Yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. I think we actually had it right up here. Let me do alt click and RCRT. Yeah, nice. RCRT actually coming back, right? We still have that EMA 21 and EMA 55 located between 2516 and 2562. That's a little that's hard to combat, man. We have to combat that. Okay, so yeah, let's keep an eye on that, right? In the markets, a little bearish, but this could be a good area for support. So we'll keep an eye on that too. All right. So, and now Ape, man, ticker symbol Ape, finding the support from the daily 100. But as I said, let me just go ahead and turn on the air for my son as well, right? I want to make sure that he can stay as comfortable as possible and also asleep as much as possible too. Anyway, let's see what's going down. Yeah, you know what? Why don't we retrace a little bit back? We're a little back right now. We'll go ahead and take a look at BBYQ just after we kind of give this COSM a little bit of a gander here, right? So, yeah, just like we said, guys, potential bounces happen within this golden pocket, right? So 317, not bad at all. Let's see the immediate short-term time frame momentum, see what's going on, right? So let's see. It's not going to be long because we can actually just keep an eye on this as we move, right? So this is the 30-minute time frame. We have, okay, we're already at oversold and increasing volatility. I get it, right? But we're already showing signs of a potential reversal there. So hourly time frame shows still some pretty strong downside. In other words, it looks like we just started recovering within maybe the 5 minute. Yep, we just started recovering on the damn 5 minute. Okay, so the 5 minute time frame would actually have to have enough thrust to the upside here and momentum to pressure the 15 minute into the 30, right? So the 15 minute is already reactive to that. Notice how we're getting this, getting a little bit of curvature here, okay? So that's already reactive to that. The 30-minute time frame, of course, not ready just yet because we have some immediate micro time frames of validations to happen, right? But still, I still have to tell you that I am absolutely bullish this asset, not because of a partnership or anything like that, because we're in the freaking golden pocket. And we're also in a bullish formation too, right? So this formation can lead to a pretty substantial upside, and it's also a repeating formation. And I do have to say that we're starting to kind of make that upside from a very similar area that we did back here. It was approximately 8 days that we got that consolidation within this formation, and we are right at the 8-day, 9-day mark right now. Okay, so it's very interesting that we're starting to get this upside right now. Okay, you guys. So what I want to say too is that sometimes when you face these downsides here, right before, during a bullish during a bullish formation, there could be that shakeout. This could be the shakeout before an upside, right? So it's highly speculated, right? But we have to practice our probabilities as such. Okay, so the 4-hour time frame is actually, that could be juiced by the bi-hourly. Okay, the bi-hourly, yeah, take a look at this. The bi-hourly is already at the SMA 14 support. Okay, so now the 4-hour is indicative of a continuation to the downside, but this is very, very limited to what the bi-hourly has to say. Okay, so if the bi-hourly does continue to fail ever so slightly here, then the 4-hour would be the one to look at for a relevant support, which would indicate a potential retouch of 313 before another upside, right? So keep your eyes on that, okay? But it's still looking okay. I do see that this is part of a natural ebb and flow, and we should move with caution, right? Apologies for that, team. Let's go ahead and go back here to ticker symbol BBYQ. Absolutely making some rips to the upside, right? I think we looked at this on one of the other live streams, right? So we were able to identify a very bullish play at hand, and I'm going to show you that by getting rid of these. This is another one of those broadening descending wedges, guys. We're in that process of a breakout. And what I can say is that, let's see, we're at 28 cents, right? We're right at the resistance of our discretionary resistance here, right? We already spoke about this chop box here. Okay, so what we want to do is actually resist from the top side of about 35.89. We need to validate this. We need to convert it into a support. Let's see, that would be 27.98 or 28 cents needs to convert into a support before we can continue on to the upside. Okay, you guys, so that upside target, I would have to say that could be around 40 cents, 39.62 to about 40 dead on. Okay, that could be the next upside to look at. It is possible that it can happen today, but let's go ahead and keep ourselves steady. Still SONN at a 10%. I thought you were going to close in the green. You are at a 10% loss. Yeah, so this is we're about to approach that area that I said that could be the zone for a potential bounce here. Okay, there could be a pretty nice bounce here. Whatever that bounce gives you, I would actually take. Okay, because there is a resistance between, I would say, 65.40 and 65.96, 65.40 to 66. Okay, that could be a very important zone if you want to be like super precise at 65.99, right? But yeah, I can see it. Oof! It's getting that area. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can get that bounce to the upside here. Okay. I mean, it could still wick down to 62.99 because this is the resistance range, right? I'm sorry, the prior resistance range. Right, so there is also a gap here to keep in the consideration. My overall target was actually 63.52. Okay, so just keep an eye on this. We could face a bounce here. It could be a short-term bounce around that zone that I spoke of. Okay, keep your eyes on it. All right. So anyway, let's go back to ticker symbol BBYQ SONN. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, I see it, guys. I see it. And again, these nuts, I don't know what the heck a bearish shark is, man. I guess it could be I'm not sure what it is, man. And also, what time frame are you looking at that in, right? So that I can evaluate it somehow. Man. Okay, anyway, team, keep your eyes on these targets. We're at a bounce zone right now, okay? So let me go back to BBBYQ and continue the analysis here, guys. So, I'm really looking for the conversion of this top side. We want 28, literally where we are. We need it to become a support in order for us to continue on to the upside, okay? So we the shorter term targets, anywhere upside of 32.54 to around 35.54 before another pullback, and then that could be the validation process to creating that 28 into a support before a continuation to the upside. Of course, if you want to know, right, per the trading book rules, I'm not sure that BBBYQ has enough liquidity to do this, but there is a potential of 163 touch in the next few weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks or something like that, right? So it's looking pretty nice. I do like the momentum in almost every single time frame as it is suggesting a massive upside. So upside on the bi-hourly, which is bleeding onto the 4-hour, which is the one that's the most important to me. 6-hour and 8-hour are absolute validators here. So all of them pivoted towards the upside. The 8-hour time frame is in the gravitational zone, highly likely to continue to the upside. 12-hour time frame in the bullish control zone, increasing volatility, massive upside pivot here, and barely starting to print the green bars on the 12-hour MACD. This is highly likely going to continue to the upside, okay, you guys? But I do know that BBBYQ plays games, okay? So although the charts are all kind of like favoring the upside and showing us that all the moon and the stars are aligned, you must practice discretion and your risk management when trading assets like BBBYQ. 28 cents, this thing can get mangled left and right, up and down at any given moment. Okay, team. So let's go ahead and still upside to this, man. I'm liking it a lot. Ticker symbol ALLR. What could be happening within this ticker here? In fact, we did see the potential of a downside coming in from the immediate short-term time frame a couple weeks ago at least, right? So, man, I don't even know what time frame we looked at, right? But let's go ahead and get rid of these drawings so that we can see what's going on in the price action now. Okay, so bi-hourly time frame, you can see here that we're being guided by every single moving average known to man, right? So could there be a continuation to the downside, or are we at a floor? Okay, because there is a very high probability here that we could be in the process of building a descending triangle, right? So it is one of the formations that I would like to call out normally, right? So I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you just like this. Okay, so let me go ahead and mark off those zones just like this here. Yeah, and then this would be the bottom side of it. We are potentially about to face the support. Man, okay, we're at about 85% to the apex of the triangle. If breakout is going to happen or breakdown is going to happen, it would be very likely within the next hour or two. Okay, so you're holding at 17. Is your cost basis 17? Really? Like, right? I mean, the low is 17. It's at 17.10. So you're slightly out of the money right now, or slightly in the money. I mean, there could be another bounce. Okay, there could be a pretty significant bounce at that. From the area of about 17 cents flat. There could be a bounce here, but I would really start to look at liquidating position at maybe this is looking bearish, man. What I don't want to see is that this is creating a larger time frame. What is it called? A bear flag, right? So as it is very possible. But let me look at the upper time frames here, at least in the 12-hour, to see how many. Oh my goodness, are you joking? This is ridiculous. This is insanity. So much. I mean, whoever shorted this just became rich. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to see. 3, 4, oh my goodness. Yeah, the probabilities are starting to stack up for an upside, actually. The reason why I can say this is because of this. Okay, we want to take a look at a few metrics when we're dropping in ladders. Okay, we want to see that we have this would be ladder number 1, right? We have that recovery there. This is ladder number 2, recovery there, right? This would be ladder number 3. We have ladder number 4 and number 5, and we're looking at a potential 6. So that could be, this could be it could actually mark a floor soon. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is the floor. I'm just saying that there is a probability that we have found it. Okay, as when you start looking at the ladders into the number 4, that already starts giving you higher and higher probabilities as you drop lower and lower into the lower numbers. So when you're looking at, test number 6 or ladder number 7, those are already very high probability reversal ladder attacks, right? So right around there, you could be getting that top side, right? So let's see. So March through June for SON, March, April, May, June. So you're talking about a quarterly. I'm actually curious about that. We're going to continue with ALLR right now, but hold on. And you're looking at which ticker again? I forgot which one he was talking about. Was it SONN? So if he's talking about the quarterly chart, a bearish, no, that is just a decline. Right? And actually a pretty nice decline, considering that there is this massive green candle here on a 3-month iteration. That is not typical. This is usually the signal of a macro reversal. This is the quarterly chart here, my brother, and I'm not seeing this pattern is a bearish shark pattern. I don't know what that is, my brother, to tell you the very honest truth, right? So yeah. So Johnny Barnes saying, what's the top side to get out of an ALLR? So yeah, going back to ALLR, what I'm trying to say here, Johnny, is that there could be a floor found in this, and there actually could be, I'm not certain, but there could be a pretty nice upside here, actually. So we are floored everywhere. I mean, we are literally floored on momentum. And, there we go. This keyboard, man, this mechanical keyboard that I got as a gift is super sensitive, very sensitive, and it's just huge keys. You can hear me typing like if I was in the 1950s, like a typewriter. Anyway, so let me see the daily time frame here. Man, yeah, there's a lot of signals here suggesting of a potential floor. There is still some. Oh man, did it actually just do it now? No, it didn't. Let me see. Hourly time frame low is, I'll give it to you, man. Hold on. 1710 was the low on this. That's where we were just there. Okay. Let me see the bi-hourly time frame and the 4-hour. Okay, they're not reactive just yet. 15-minute is starting its upside. Okay, yeah, there may be another touch to 17 flat. And that could introduce a potential bounce from there yet again, meaning that the more that we can get this validation here, the more that we touch this 17 zone, the better, right? Because that is honestly a potential floor. Okay, so now let me go back to the 4-hour time frame and then evaluate the upside targets based on this formation, right? So Let's go over the two probabilities. Center of the triangle, right, from the top side of the triangle all the way to the bottom side. Apply that trend line to the supposed breakout zone. Let's just say in the next 4-hour candle, taking you to a target of about 2110. The next area to look at would be the top side of the hypotenuse, all the way down to the bottom side of the triangle, right? That zone there would then serve as our number 2 set of bulls, which would set the target at about, can't see it there, right, at about 2337, which marks off very close to the top side of this candle here. Okay, so now we can set a resistance range at that top side, just like this. Okay, so I'm not saying that we're going to go all the way up there. We have to keep in the consideration here what those possibilities are. Okay, there's also a range here on that shorter time frame. All right, so just like this here, we'll go ahead and mark off that range. So 2110 to 2138. Keep your eye on that as well, okay, my brother? But yeah, there is a probability of getting out. But if you feel too worried that the price action will not continue, then around 1730, 1728, I would just get out to see if we can get some type of validation here, because this is a very critical zone to be sitting in here, which, I mean, closing an hourly candle beneath the area of 17 can introduce price discovery lows. There's nothing, historically speaking, down here to support us except geometrics. Okay, so that is not an area where you want to be at. It's not fun. But what I commend you on is that it is, in essence, the biggest demand zone you could try to enter. So yes, you know, in all essence, yeah, I commend you for that, right? But we want to make sure that we can get at least some validations, meaning that if you do get a bounce side from this zone here and then you start breaking out of this area here, then you would wait for the pullback to enter around 18 cents for then this liftoff, instead of getting the liftoff from 17 to around 18, right? So I would wait for the bigger bang and be patient with this, right, as you may be catching it early. So, but yeah, there's several touches already for that 17-cent zone. Keep your eye on it, okay, brother? But anyway, let's go ahead and yes, it is very critical, and it feels a little weak too. So let's go ahead and move on, you guys, to ticker symbol VOCL, right? Getting that rejection from that first 30-minute candle to the upside, right? Not a problem, Johnny Barnes. Got you, my brother. Okay, so if I can say anything, is that we are potentially facing a support in the 30-minute time frame here. I love the push to the upside here on the 30-minute. This is likely bleeding into the bi-hourly and to the 4-hour because the cascading effect, the domino effect, okay? So if we can face a temporary downside here, I would actually have to favor 450, or a range, right, of about 450. I'll draw it in. Right around here, 450 to about the better part of about, I'd say, 440. Okay, so almost, yeah, I would say an entire point away for a potential bounce to the upside from this zone here, okay? So let's see. Let's keep on validating. Let's see. Have you looked at CVNA 1930 and then is it doing good? I can go ahead and look at it after SOUN. So yeah, in fact, let's mark it in here. So let's go ahead and put down ticker symbol CVNA and continue on the analysis on VOCL. Right. So CVNA. Let's see what's going down. All right. Cool deal. Wow. Very interesting pump here on the 3-month. Man, this is it is breaking market structure, and also in the process of, I see it. Let me go to the weekly. Could that really be it? This is breaking out of an ascending triangle and validating the support right now. Let's see. So this is essentially what I'm looking at here. Just like this, and the other obvious trend line would be this one here. Right? So just like this here is kind of what we're looking at, right? So sorry if it's a little messy, but I mean, it also, I have to be honest, it feels a little premature to break out like this, but that support touch, the support touch is coming up, and I would say, hold on, I need to make this line not a dotted line, damn it. Let's go ahead and just make it a straight line because it's hard to get the level from it. Let's see. There we go. That's the level, perfectly set. And that 1973 is essentially the zone that I'm waiting for a drop to. Okay, 1973, yes. And then let me take into consideration a fib here from the swing high to swing low before the pump to the upside. And we are talking about a support touch of about, what was it again, 1973? Yeah, 2.272 located at 20.03. That's very likely going to be a support touch here. And then we would essentially bounce to the upside and start converting the 3.618. Let me look at the 4-hour time frame momentum. Okay, it's starting to actually be reactive to the bi-hourly time frame. Okay, bi-hourly showing a little bit of an upside here, but yes, I do feel still that we need to validate that support at 1973. We need to get that support in there in order for us to validate any type of upside. Okay, so let me get some other time frame moving averages to see if there's anything kind of rhyming with what we're talking about. And in fact, I'm starting to see it there. Man, there it is. Daily time frame EMA 21. That is very likely where price action is going towards. The EMA 21 is located presently at 1988. Potential drop to that 1973, bounce from that, and that would also mark off the touch for the validation of the silver cross on the daily. So the EMA 21 validation, right? So now what I do have to say is that just on Tuesday last week, we got a golden cross. So if there is a further downside to look at, just in case, okay, just in case, but I honestly see I honestly see an upside first. Okay, we're gonna get that reaccumulation to that 1973 where the EMA 21 is in a daily. Potential big bounce to the upside from this, but we may actually top out at the same top here, only because we need to validate the SMA 200 golden cross, okay? SMA 200 and SMA 50 golden cross, which means that we would essentially come back down and test the SMA 50 at wherever that may be at the time, which could actually be at either the bottom side or the top side of this daily gap, and we'll keep an eye on that right over here. That could be the zone to where the SMA 50 may be located after this short-term downside to the rejection of the 2836 range right around there, and then we would get that pullback right into this area here. Okay, so when we do that, that would then start looking a little, I would say, let me see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Are you serious? Okay, so the probabilities of dropping down are starting to become a little bigger. I know that we can face it. Yeah, guys, I do have to favor that. The test number 3 is going to be, this is a fake out. This is a huge bull trap. Okay, so we're not moving from the top side of 2828 on CVNA. Okay, and I can honestly say that because we're on test number 3 of the resistance touch on this, and it's showing that it wants to capitulate. Not only that, is that we still have the validation of the golden cross and the silver cross happening. All of those signals are screaming bull trap, and this could actually reclaim the inside of the triangle yet again, validate these supports that we're talking about. I'm talking about after another try to the upside. We need a bounce from that on 1973, get another try to the upside. That would be another signal or the continuation of that bull trap. Then we would resist and come back down to the relevant areas of support. I'm thinking that the SMA 50 can be located within this area. If it's not located there, then I mean it may be slightly under. It could be in this range here, but there is a large gap there. Okay, there is a very large gap. Let's show you. This one right over here. In fact, we can be a little tighter, right? Just like this. This gap here is essentially why I'm saying that we can face a bounce from this zone. But if we do cover this gap, if we do close it, then there is still a chance that we can actually drop to 1432. Where is the SMA 50? 1369. Okay, so 1369 to 1432 I think would be the final offer, right? Let me do 1432. Secondary area of demand. This is it. Okay, so I'm just saying there's a potential. Okay, so as getting this bearish price action, it would introduce the reclaiming of the inside of the channel, and then trying to break out on true test number 4, not on number 3. It doesn't always have to follow that rule on triangles, but it's just it happens more often than not. We just have to evaluate the present conditions. Okay, team. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for CVNA. I'm sorry, I actually don't know why I did this so like right now. I guess I got immediately taken by it, right? So apologies, team. So let's go ahead and continue on here with VOCL. Right, so we were talking about this, let's see, SONN also bouncing off lows. Good, that's what we were expecting. We want to get that. And the massive spike on TTOO, that's also indicative of that support being found, the one that we were talking about, right down here. You can see that we got that very, very nice touch downside, down to the area that we were speaking of, right? So we wanted that touch, a potential tweezer bottom here on the daily that could introduce some bullish price action. We'll keep an eye on that as well. So anyway, let me take a look at VOCL here. Let's NVOS. What do you say? Let's see. Great analysis. Thanks again, Josh. Not a problem. Very happy to help, and I'm very happy that you came by and hung out. Right. So those are my honest thoughts on it. Right. I'm not gonna blow smoke up anyone's booty. Right. I'm just gonna say what the charts are kind of stating. Right. And that's it. That's just as simple as it gets. Okay. So. Anyway, back to VOCL, NVOS, Sebastian, we'll go ahead and pull that one up too, my brother. So, VOCL, this is what I was telling you, huge upside on the 30-minute momentum. This is absolutely bullish, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because this kind of thrust here is likely bleeding into the hourly, very, very, very likely bleeding into the bi-hourly now, right? And it could be showing some signs of strength in the 4-hour. Let's see. There it is. We're getting that very, very short term. We're getting that very, very tiny sign of strength, increasing volatility, moving upside of the moving average, which is absolutely great, and getting the upside on both the EMA 3 and the SMA 14. This is good stuff, okay, you guys. This is awesome. That means here that we have potentially found the bottom right in the zone that we spoke of. Okay, I'm talking about this one from earlier, right? So it could be that 440 to 450. This could very well be the floor. This was just figured in the last how long ago was it, by the way? This was just figured this morning. Okay, look at SONN. What a bounce. Yeah, I'll come back to VOCL, and let me go back to the daily time frame SONN. And let's see here. Do I have actually any other? Let me get this. Okay, so yeah, it did get that temporary bounce, you guys. Okay, so we were looking at that potential bounce from the 63.52. It's a very strong area, you guys. So this is where I'm telling you that if you are in the money, I'm not sure that I would actually trust this. This is the opportunity, you guys. It's a potential test of 77.48. Okay, we're already at a point to where you can consider getting out green and then saving yourself, right? Because I'm not sure that we're going to come back and validate this resistance one more time. Another thing that we were talking about is a potential bear trap, right? So that we were looking at a potential bounce from this zone here to the upside of facing a potential touch of that 77.48, or we were going to get that bounce from the 55.07 bottom side, okay? I'm not saying that it's impossible to get there. Please know that this is highly liquid. Okay, so that means that at any moment this thing can sell off. So if you are in the money, know that you are in the money in a bearish formation. Okay, so I just want to express it to you like that because that is in fact what I'm looking at. Okay, so oh man, if this would be a great thing to actually figure, right? If we can get the upside here, anywhere upside of the zone of 73.04, I'm talking about the present candle. If we can close it anywhere upside of 73.04, that would mark off an 8-hour bullish engulfing candle iteration, which then would actually introduce a potential upside continuation. Still, I am not going to trust the upside here as a end-all be-all move to the upside, right? I'm not sure about that, but we were able to identify potential bounce zones, okay? So good. I'm very happy that it is kind of following the plan that we looked at, right? So back to VOCL, you guys. This is looking massively bullish, okay? So 4-hour time frame already getting that upside. And if I were to be very honest here with you, let me see the 6-hour. It's reactive too. Wow. Damn. VOCL is showing some serious potential here, guys. Like I'm talking about very, very serious. and it is in the process of breaking out of a broadening descending wedge as well. Okay, very curious. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean by that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Yep, I think this is it. Could I actually fall this? Oh no, don't tell me that. Are you for real? Is that really it? Holy crap. This thing is breaking out right now. Hold on. Let me. Yeah. Damn. This is in the process of breaking out of a macro time frame formation here. Literally in the first, I mean, it is at the border right now and just upside of it. It literally just put its leg from Mexico to America. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, I have Mexican in my blood. My guys. All right, anyway, so we are looking at a potential breakout here, and this could actually lead to a pretty significant upside at first. To be very honest here, I think there could be a resistance, let's see, in the immediate short-term time frame, about 15% out. Oh my goodness, man. So 15 spot, 21% out of the money. We can face a resistance there. And then a pullback to validate the newly converted resistance into a support. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on this. VOCL is looking extremely powerful. Man, oh man, oh man. I know that it's had its like history of whatever you want to call it, right? But this is specifically volatility. It's introducing just a massive growth. There is a lot of shares being traded. We have money flow index indicating a continuation of inbound disbursement of returns, guys. This is incoming cash, right? So this is very, very interesting. Okay, so be very, very careful. Only right for it to start moving after FNGR and GTII, right? Of course, if you're not familiar with what Sebastian Lim is saying by it being right, so created, it used to be ticker symbol CRTD, which was the company that was going to start fighting shorts with a potential acquisition and partnership or merger with GTII, a global tech, right? So that didn't happen. VOCL ended up moving towards the downside. And okay, good. TTG, did you get out in the money? I hope you did. Okay, so that's a very important thing to kind of notice here, because there is a potential bearish formation being realized in there. So we should VOCL right now for paper traders, LOL. So we should paper trade VOCL right now, like all in or what? Okay, good. Yeah, we survive the next day. We survive it for the next day. That's the best thing, TTG. Okay. I'm telling you, I know that you're probably not trying to. I don't know you, right? But I'm not. I know that the number of people trying to get like good enough at trading to be institutionally recognized and put behind a proprietary trading desk, they're very little. It's very little people in this world, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is that if you are looking at type of positions like that, institutional positions, they want to see your P&L, and they want to see that you know how to take losses and that you know how to take them in a very, very accurate way and a consistent discipline behind it. Yeah, Cryptic Trader, I was actually talking about everybody. I was talking to everybody about that short play on MSFT earlier this morning for a potential 4-point play, 5-point play, right? So I'm very happy that you were able to capitalize on that today, as we did see that potential drop today. Right. Well, we saw that potential drop yesterday during our class, right? And I'm happy that you were able to get that in, my brother. Very, very much a congratulations owed to you. Okay, my brother. Good stuff. Good stuff. So SMFL ticker, please, if there is any time left. Of course, my brother. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at that, right? So, yeah, you guys, keep your eyes on VOCL. Highly likely this is going to continue to the upside here. Potential resistance from about 15% up, and then a retracement back to validate that resistance into support. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that. Now, yeah, ticker symbol SLUN still looking massively bullish. You guys take a look at that buyer hourly momentum. This is likely bleeding into the 4-hour, getting that slight upside already, increasing volatility here. I do have to express here that we've already met four of our targets thus far, right? Specifically in the times that we did speak of as well. With the current momentum, 4-hour time frame, breaking upside of the SMA 14, getting an upside pivot on stochastics, and increasing volatility, that is usually indicative of a continuation to the upside. We must convert the support. We must convert into support the zone of, let's see, I would say 443 with a minimum 4-hour candle. We can get that into support. Then our next target would be 489, close to $5 where we spoke of 494. Sorry, right? 2.618. I think we are 4.618 bound in ticker symbol SOUN, and it's still moving according to our plan and breakout formation, right? So everything is looking pretty good within that. SOUN looking good. CVNA, we already spoke about it, right? We're trying to get that downside down to that 1793. And, why don't we pull up? Oh, man. Yeah, BBBYQ getting that resistance. Nice. Good job. Okay, yeah, so let's go back here and take a look at ticker symbol SONN bouncing back fast. Yeah, it's going to bounce back fast. This is highly liquid here, but also a lot of short positions are trying to get short here. So be very careful with that, okay? Because this is a lot of short territory, okay? And this would be bear trap zone, okay? When they're thinking that they're 15% up, 20% up on the play, this thing just rejects, and they're like, no, stopped out. Shorts getting squeezed there, right? So yeah, I would look at this as the top side of the range already faced. So likely high of day at 75.05. And from here, since the algorithm is going to start changing, let's see the time, right? We're at about 9:34. Yeah, the algos are going to start changing within the hour. So there could be corrections and downsides on things that are already too frothy and things that are too low. Okay, so we might start to see the upside on things that sold off and start to see the downside on things that are essentially, oh my God, here's the capitulation. This is what I was talking about yesterday, man. Damn it. Get me the support, man. SPY potential support at about 4. Man, the EMA 21 on the daily is likely going to be an area to find support. That's huge. That's man, that is a 2-point drop. Yeah, actually there could be a retouch. Maybe at around 433.89. That could be short entry. Down to about 430.60 and 430.25. Okay, David Parr. Yeah, we've been looking at VOCL this whole time, my brother. So we're potentially creating a big breakout right now. So entries could be now, not financial advice, and also for paper trades. Right, wink, wink. Anyway, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to that ticker. We were looking at SMFL, right? So let's go ahead and pull it up for my brother Ali. SMFL. And take a look at what they have for us, right? So, David, so let us know what's the deal? What is it looking like? What kind of news? Partnership or change of management? What's the deal there? Okay, you guys, this is a very good sign for SMFL. What you're looking at here is two daily iterations of wicks to the downside. This marks a tweezer bottom on the daily. Right, so that candle formation is usually known to be pretty bullish, highly likely for us to resist at about 97.03. But in doing so, we have a range of support to consider now, right? So that would be in the space, I would say the relevant space of about 88.60 to 88.95. Okay, so this is support zone or a demand area right now. If it is that we're not going to retrace back to this downside here of 76.12, which I don't think so. It doesn't look like it has the liquidity for that just yet. Right, but now SMFL, massive dilution and delayed acquisitions news price heavily to the downside, right? So, so I honestly think that there could be a floor found here at 75.09. That could have been historically, let's see. No, nothing in the price action historically speaking to get that, right? But what I am noticing here is that this... How far of an upside did we actually get from this daily candle? That is presently sitting 16% up. That's enough to start flashing momentum, actually. Okay, so let's look at the immediate short-term time frame, SMFL. Okay, so Okay, yeah, we're getting that downside here on the 30-minute time frame as per expected. Hourly downside and the bi-hourly with an upside. Okay, so yeah, this is what I meant by it actually maybe finding a floor. The 4 hour should be pivoted straight to the upside here. Let's see that. Yep, look at that. We have an upside in the 4 hour, increasing volatility as well. 6 hour time frame upside pivot too, slightly decreasing. Yeah, so I would actually have to see a drop back down to here around 86.80. Now, is there any no, it doesn't look like there is. And immediate short term, all of it is kind of below us. Okay, all right, yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to stick to my guns here. 86.80 could be a bottom side to look at for a potential reaccumulation and a short term upside. I'm not sure that this is going to be the bottom, as in this is going to V-shape recover all the way to the freaking moon. I am saying that there is a potential bounce for a short-term scalp, as this may start to introduce further capitulation to retest the area of 76 again. And the reason why I can say that is because of this. We're starting the ladders. Okay, so this is ladder 1, right? This is ladder 2. This is ladder, that could, whatever. This is ladder 3, right? So that's why I'm saying there could be one more. And I'm not sure. This is a short-term bounce here. Potential capitulation back down to around 76 or 77 cents. Then that would mark off your 1, 2, 3, fourth drive or fourth ladder, which then introduces a higher probability upside from there. Okay, so this is, yeah, you're not going to get away with having that kind of bad news and this thing just immediately recover to the upside, right? I do think that there is further downside to look at with some short-term ebb and flows, okay, that we can benefit from. Anyway, let's go back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So let's see, what is the support we are looking for on ticker symbol SOUN, short-term target? I'm trying to understand MACD for SOUN, but I'm a newbie. Let's go back to SOUN and take a look at that real quick, right, team? So let's see. Okay. So yeah, right. I'm sorry. So this, if you're looking at a MACD, I'm not sure that I changed my colors, but this blue line, yeah, this blue line is actually the signal line, meaning that is the that is the that's the MACD itself, right? The MACD signal line, and the orange line represents a moving average. Okay, so when the signal line crosses above the moving average, that's usually bullish. And when it crosses below the moving average like this, that's usually bearish, right? So you have to keep an eye on your histogram here, because this could essentially help you identify when that cross may happen. So if we're looking at the MACD like this, and you're seeing a diminishing of bear pressure, right? It looks like it's going to turn green. Right, so your validation here, and you must never use just one indicator for validations on moves. One indicator is not good. In fact, your best indicator to keep into consideration would be price action. It would be the raw price action itself. I'm talking about candles. I'm talking about volume. Okay, all of these things. So, for example, here we're on an uptrend with an uptrend in volume as well. That is indicative of a bullish continuation. If you have an upside and declining volume, that is a bearish divergence, okay? So another thing keep in mind is that we're upside of the moving average on volume, okay? That usually gives the bulls like this green flag to continue buying, right? Because it's not over. So yeah, I would keep into consideration how high your MACD has gone historically, right? So if you're looking at this in a larger pane, make a line here where you are. We're presently facing a retracement from around 26%. Where has it gone historically? It was really huge. It's gone up significantly higher. So there is technically more room to look at for an upside here, okay? Especially if you're starting to make a bullish trend on that histogram, right? You want to get that histogram to start favoring the green bars, right? As soon as you get a green bar, that's usually sometimes a long entry signal, but validated with other things, not only your MACD. Okay, that's only one metric. All right, Arca, the man, the myth, the analyst. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? The miners. Let's see. So you're talking about MARA. What about Veri? Yeah, we have to take a look at Veri, you guys. So yeah, definitely Snowdrifter. We'll go ahead and take a look at that as well. Not a problem. And let's come back. I said that we were going to look at Viri real quick, right? So, TQQQ. All right. Hold on, guys. Yeah, this is a temporary drop. And it literally, it already started, man. This was the short play that I talked about up here at 433. Okay, so it's continuing the 431. We're already 2 points up. That means that we could get a touch right back down to 430.15, marking off about a 3 or 4% move to the downside. David Parr saying good luck, guys. Take care, my brother. I'm not sure if you're staying or going, whatever it is, but good to see you here, my brother. So let's see. These nuts saying at what bottom do you see SONN? Yeah, we'll go back to it. Let me just go ahead and cover VIRI real quick because we are still validating that SMA 50, right? It held it really nice, okay? It held it nicely, just as per expected, okay? So, you know what? I think I could actually benefit from opening up on the master layout here. So let me look at it there instead. Okay, so let's see. All right, immediate rejection, upside on the 6 hour. Let me see the 30-minute. I'm just gonna go. Man, this is making me nervous. I hate it. I hate that I'm being made nervous. And yeah, see the guys. Look at the time, guys. This is what I told you. Every single time that we're gonna stream, I'm gonna remind you over the time so you can see how things change. Right, literally being shown on the. Let me click out of this. Literally being shown on the SPY and the TQQQ. You can just see starting at 9:30, between 9:30 and 10:30. That's the algo change, guys. And that's usually when things start to shake out, right? But I do see this being a temporary drop, potential reversal starting at 10:30 at 430.15 before a bounce. TTG, you don't want to see SONN anymore? Okay. It's still red, so I'm happy. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back to ticker symbol VIRI. I have to actually just check on my son real quick, right? So, okay, the guy's mouth open, hanging out, hanging out in this pillow, right? He's good. And actually, I could make it a little cooler here in the studio. It's still burning, freaking hot. Okay, so let's see. We have a pretty nice. Berenson saying, thank you, sorry. What about SOUN targets and support? I forgot what I think I just said it. But hold on. Let me look at VIRI real quick, right? So we have a pretty nice, I'm buying SONN below 50.5, right? Cool. All right. So 30-minute time frame showing some upside here. This is a immediate short-term time frame, little bull flag there. Okay, let me see the hourly upside. Contracting volatility, nice. That's a very good sign. Let's see. We're starting to get that reflection from the buy hourly with critical volatility. Okay, what did the 30-minute and 15-minute are these? Oh my goodness, you guys, this is actually loading up. This is loading up for an upside. And it's shown on the very immediate short-term time frames. The 4 hour is already responsive too. Getting that little upside pivot right there. Right, so this is not looking bad. It's not looking bad. It's way oversold. Okay, so and here on the 6 hour, check it out. The MACD is already showing its first weakness bar. Right, so that's nice. Yeah, guys, I think the floor's in. I think the floor may have been just like we said. We just needed to touch down on that SMA 50 cross, right, and then we would actually get that recovery. So I just didn't know when the heck that can happen, right? But we saw it historically speaking, right? We saw it right back here. This was that huge upside. We got that golden cross right here, huge impulsive up run, and then back to test. And notice the test. Okay, I'm going to give you something that you should notice too. See the test? Just shy of the 50. It actually didn't come all the way down to the 50. Well, if we move to the current price action, then that's similar to what happened there too. Right? Take a look at this. Just shy of the 50. So it's very similar. We didn't touch it. Not golden cross. We didn't. So my target was to say that the SMA 50 could be located here when we capitulate. So meaning that I gave a target of around 110 to around 122 to estimate where the SMA 50 could be located because it was down here. So, and we were also up here. So in my personal opinion, I was saying like, well, there could be a drawback here first to validate that support, and it could be located between this area here. So I was right, that the SMA 50 was located within this zone. But the touch of whatever target, I couldn't be specific about that, because we're talking about a moving average here. So let's see, we didn't touch it at 120. No, we didn't touch 120. We touched 128, right? But yeah, like I said, it's just there's no way that I can actually figure out an exact target for this thing to touch, right? So I was I was only able to tell you that my ability to look into the future isn't that great. My ability to be Nostradamus, I guess, is not that good, right? So this was as best as I can do, guys. Considering that we were days away from this capitulation, right? I just said that the SMA 50 could be located within this zone, which could be a zone for the price action to consider a retracement. The reason why I said that is because this is the invalidation zone. So meaning that, again, I usually find best entries at invalidations. I say this often, okay? So, that area there. And oftentimes, guys, if you're going to be exposed to the markets more, you should start identifying that shorts and longs will often start their position entries either a little early and then take profits. I'm sorry, it's just usually early entry and early profit. Right, so if you're looking at a drop to 120, of course, they're gonna average in earlier so that they can catch the entry and make sure that everyone else gets left behind without the entry. And inversely, that would be the same thing towards the upside. If you're looking at a specific target of 184, the likelihood of covering at about 180 is going to be the higher probability. So that's usually how the markets play, guys. It usually happens like that. Right, so it really is because people are trying to secure. They don't want to get the top side valuation. They just want to get their daily gains and be done with the day. Next play, right? So that's usually how it's done. So, what do you think about a long here? Well, let's see. That's very dependent on a few factors, of course. Let's go to the 30-minute immediate short term. Let me go to the 5-minute even. An aggressive entry, yeah, I guess it could be now. An aggressive entry, right? So the conservative trader will wait for the pullback from 150. He'll let this ride to 150 to around 153 invalidation of that continuation, and then come back to 145. But then coming back to 145 would be the confirmation of support before a bounce. The difference between catching 145 now and then is that. Is the fact that you would come back and validate the 145 as a support before a continuation. So two very distinct 145 targets, an early 145 and a validated 145. Okay, so keep your eyes on things like that, right? So that's literally like how I teach my master students, right? Wait for the confirmations. Never not know the play. Okay, team. So VIRI, yeah, a very aggressive entry could be now. And I mean, everything is indicative of a continuation to the upside even still, right? So I honestly, I know that there are, if you don't have an average of around 20 cents or 30 cents for this, then I get it. I understand, right? But if your average is literally entry at 135 and you're at 148 right now, I would start considering taking profits at about 153, maybe even lower, right? So then I could actually get a pullback here and re-enter with gains, compounded cash, right? So that would certainly help. Another indication that we are set to face this resistance here between 153, 155 is this. Look at the 4-hour RSI about to face the resistance from the SMA 14. Not only the SMA 14, though, it is also the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, very likely to find two areas of resistance and a continuation to the downside. That's what I mean between the difference of 145 now and a validated 145 later. Okay, so keep your eyes on things like that, okay? But I'm literally being as clean as I can with you to show you strategic scalping or momentum trading. Okay, it's kind of like that, right? So laid back for life, saying I'm sorry, somebody. Oh, right, Berenson. Yeah, I'll look at meds, not a problem, but I got to take a look at this ticker real quick first. So Berenson Ultra saying thanks. Sorry, what are the SOUN targets for support relevant to the price action at this current moment? Let's see if we do have that downside, as it very well could have been that here at 66.81. Do we have further downside on the 15-minute? In fact, no. 5-minute. Okay, the 5-minute is showing a downside. Yeah, the relevant supports would be right at around here. I would say the higher likelihood would be 66.76, but 64.81 would be the other one. Okay, so that would be the support zone for that. Let's see. And then the upside on this, you know me, guys. I'm a short-term trader. I'm not gonna hold things, right? So if you're catching entry from this position, right down here, and you're able to catch an upside to at least meet close to the resistance from today's price action, you would bank 11%. That's huge, right? So as I do see another resistance coming up between 75.11 and about 77.57 or 77.48. Sorry. So if you get that upside at 77.48, that's a 16% move to the upside, man. That's you playing the volatility, playing the ranges here. Okay, as it is possible to do that. It is very possible for you to create your own squeeze in and out. You'll notice they'll be 500% up on the week taking scalps, right? And not just holding one asset with a huge potential drop. So yeah, keep your eyes on those targets down there. I'm still thinking that there could be a immediate short term. I'm talking about within the next 30 minutes, right? Potential drop to 64.81 to 66.76. Okay, keep your eyes on that. And yes, we can go ahead and take a look at that, man. VOCL continuing on the path that we were talking about, right? That would be the potential entry that I said around now. Paper trades, right? We said it at 475. If you didn't take it, I'm sorry. But there it was, guys. The signal was given. And let's go ahead and give MEDS a shot, right? So you know what? I can just go ahead and do it here. ALLR still on the path to testing the 17-cent zone. Keep your eyes on that, okay? MEDS. Let's go ahead and pull it up and see what's going down on that ticker, right? So huge upside on MEDS. Let me see the daily time frame to see just how far, right? Huge gap up that naturally marks an area of support, right? So let's go ahead and note that down right now. And what I do have to say is that why is this in fact moving, right? Potential drop here, guys. It's potentially going to drop to 14.56. It's at 15.43. Okay, let me see. Here it is. What? This thing just reverse split. Was it a reverse or a stock? Yeah, but 1 to 15. And the price action did that? Wow. Well, I guess it would, right? Because that's naturally what happens. This massive gap up here, you guys, naturally makes this support zone. And the other thing to consider here is that it's now an official break of market structure, having this high at 1982 versus this previous high at 1196. Okay, so this already starts to indicate that we could be building now a different type of play, as this is likely the take profit target from this wedge here. I'll show you, guys. I'm sorry. It's just I see these things like from the freaking bottom of my eye somewhere, right? And that's it. I see it and it's over, right? So let me see if I can somehow get this thing to favor, right? Yeah, I think it was just like this here, falling wedge. Right, so just like this, and then this is the other one right here, breaking out at about 65 to 70% to the apex of the triangle, just like expected. It looks like it took bull set number one target, the preference, the price objective, the psychological target is what I'm speaking of, right? So you take a trend line from the top side of the bottom side, apply it to the zone of breakout, which is right over here, and the top side target to be figured was literally where price action is sitting right now, 15.24. If you highlight that yellow thing, it's 15.13, right? So we're right at that support right now. It just so happens to be this gap down support as well. It's following a pretty nice geometric level too. So let me pull up this the fib range high to range low 1485, 2-spot 618. Yeah, definitely following geometrics nicely. And take a look at the top side of this candle here. The top side of this candle was 1970. You had 1901 at the 3-spot 618. There's absolute geometry at play here. Okay, so I definitely like what I'm seeing here, and I do believe that there could be a support touch anywhere between the area of about 1456. I know, huge right here, right? 1153, and I'm saying that it could drop to 1153, particular to the discretionary target that we looked at here on candles, but also because it's very close to the 1-spot 618 at 1069, which would mark off a very accurate zone to start longing, right? 1153, just shy of the 1-spot 618. Right, because like I said, oftentimes it's not a thing for us to wait for the actual number of the target, right? So, but what I am noticing here, you guys, is that there is a massive upside on momentum. Geez, come on, man. Let me just undo that real quick. Here we go. A massive upside on momentum, volatility at critical right now. This is absolutely a play right now. And also notice this. I wanted to show you the DMI. So ADX currently sitting at a massive 44%. Anytime that the ADX is at 30% and up, it's considered to be strong market trending to whoever is leading on top, regarding DMI plus represented by the bulls or DMI minus represented by bears. In this case, clean upside from the bulls, 44% trending market right now, you guys. I do have to express some warning though on the RSI, because the RSI appears to be overextended. It is cooking red hot right now, and if we just zoom out to see the historical highs, you can see that we're in that percentage discovery. We're at 90%. We're within the 90 percentile now. This is, I mean, we don't know when it could actually start retracing, but that's kind of being this high in that valuation could be indicative of a reversal soonish, right? So, and I'm talking about a potential retracement and then a continuation, right? But if you were looking at Nvidia when it was ripping to the upside, it stayed at oversold for all of those days. So it could max out like that too, okay, you guys? But I'm not sure that ticker symbol MEDS has a catalyst that big like Nvidia did, right? Being the AI caterer for the CPUs, right? So I'm not sure that it has that kind of power. I see that there is some news here, right? So, and it actually, let's see, today's biggest pre-market topside gainers. Among pre-market gainers, yeah, it looks like some news came out and it actually led the price action to the upside. So are we overvalued is the question, right? So if you are going to consider any type of continuation to the upside, I would explicitly shed some warning in here, okay? Because the topside targets have already been figured. Okay, so this is already overextended. There could be a massive retracement, okay? So, and if that massive retracement is introduced, it would be in respects to actually validating the breakout from this triangle that can lead somewhere to $4 or $5, okay? I'm just saying, okay? I'm not overly bearish on this. I'm just saying that sometimes when we break out of critical resistances, we need to come back and validate them as supports. Okay, but it just so happens right now that we're near an inflection point made naturally by that gap. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled on this. Okay, but meds is looking not bad. Okay, you guys, it's very powerful, but there is an overextension in buys. Okay, did I miss Root? No, we haven't looked at Root just yet. FNGR looking, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So FNGI looking like the pullback is coming, right? Yeah, the topside target, right, that we spoke about was 424, and I also did express that very likely also we could already see that high of day, right? So it did come in relatively close to what we were looking at 423, right? And I'm talking about targets that we looked at from down here, you guys. So keep your eyes on those resistances. Right now we're currently at 383. 380 is the 2-spot 618 support level, so there could be another little short-term bounce to the upside, but I do still have to favor the fact that we are at high of day, right? So yeah, that's actually a ticker that we still have to look at. I'm speaking of ticker symbol Wolf, right? So Michael, let me go ahead and take a look at that real quick for you, man. FFIE, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. So let's see. Yeah, look at that, guys. VOCL still continuing to the upside. Very cool. And man, look at BBYQ reaching the top side of our target that we spoke about 30 minutes ago. This was essentially the resistance that we were looking for, right? You guys, very impressive price action. I like it. Okay, as long as we can show consistency in our targets, then that's important. Okay, so let's considering GNS. Yeah, still moving to the upside too. Very cool. I want to see where I can start adding this. Okay, so let me do it right over here. So what ticker was that? FFIE, right? So FFIE, Faraday Future. Let's see what's going down. Okay, so yeah, this area that I'm talking about here that I marked off, this was essentially a resistance zone that we faced that's very strong. We got a huge pullback from there as per expected. Okay, so that was the danger that I was expressing within this resistance range, right? So now that the price action is sitting down here at about 23.19, I mean a significant pullback, right? I am not liking that this actually failed the triangle, right? So, and now let me block out the visibility here. Oh, goodness gracious. That is not always the best sign. Okay, you guys, let me get rid of this fib here. Get rid of this top side here. We already realized all those top side targets. It worked out nicely. Man. This is a little confusing here. Why? Because there has been an upside figured, right? And then we're printing this, what could be a shooting star, because there is an upside here. But this is also a massive downside, and it looks like an inverted hammer as well. So that's why I'm saying this is a little confusing here. So we're going to have to rely on our upper time frames. Okay, so by daily, yeah, I would say here 2 hours 55 minutes to close this by daily time frame. It would essentially print a pretty bullish candle. Okay, so this candle here could be the reversal signal for a potential upside coming in the next few days. Okay, so I would keep a close eye on this, because this may actually mark off. Yeah, actually, this may actually mark off a higher low structure, higher high, higher low. Let me get rid of this and this here. Let me get rid of this. We already identified all those things, right? So that's cool. Even this was our breakout signal. Okay, and this is why I'm saying, right? So it looks like there's a very clean line. I mean, I'm talking about a perfect regression here, and we're right at that support, of course, bouncing from it. Okay, so if that's the case, team, then yeah, we could potentially floor here, and there could be a reversal of sorts, right, from the next buy daily, which would close in 2 hours and 54 minutes. Keep your eyes on that, okay? You were speaking. Oh, really? SONN. Yeah, well, you know, we have to come back and take a look at Root and Wolf too, right? So let's just see that. All right, very nice bounce. You're talking about SOUN? Okay. Let's do that. SOUN, let's see. What does it even have, right? So a slight downside in the 30-minute, but let me see the hourly. Slight downside in the hourly too. Okay, buy hourly upside. 4 hours starting to bleed with that upside. Okay, all right. So to favor a time frame, maybe the 30-minute, and ooh, that like now, and I would say 413 to 418. I think, right? So, I mean, the 30-minute is about to face that support right now at that SMA 14. So, which is why I'm saying that if we were going to consider this little space here, then maybe that can be indicative to 413. But essentially now, right? But again, these are very short-term metrics, and I am not one to hold assets for a long time. As soon as I see 7%, 8%, I'm out. Right, and if it actually shows more strength, then I would likely push it to 13 to 15%. Another position out, and then if it shows strength even there, 17% to 20%, I am completely liquidated, and wait for the next play, next day's play. Right, so as I don't like to play long holds like that, team. Okay, so yeah, here it is at 416, 417 rejection. Potential drop to 413. Okay, so if you can get that 413, I think that may be it. Ugh, man, rejecting from 416. Let's just see, right? You have to play patience here. All right, but yeah, that's looking not bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol root while we're at it, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. So ROOT, sorry. And that is going to be a NASDAQ ticker. And let's see what's going on with this. RSI finding the bounce. Okay, potential corrective on the daily momentum. Let me see. Where is the correction happening? Okay. I see what's happening. Okay, so there is a resistance coming up, and that allows for a position entry. So let me see if I can find it. Where is that resistance? 6 hour or maybe even the 30-minute? What could it? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, the resistance coming up could be at about 1141, and that would present a pullback to test. Oh right. Okay, so yeah, potential 11. There's a range here. Okay, so I would say I see what's going on. So there is 1141 range to the top side of about, what's that candle saying? 1150. Okay, potential resistance range here. In doing that, it'll allow the silver cross to happen, the EMA 21 upside of the EMA 55. And then there would be a pullback to validate the silver cross before a continuation to the upside. So ticker symbol root. Yeah, I have to favor this. I have to favor the resistance here. It's very clear. It's very clear on the buy hourly that we could face that, just like this. We're facing the resistance of the SMA 14 here. We have upside pivot in the stochastic momentum and decreasing volatility. That's indicative of an upside for sure, but with resistance. So the conservative trader will wait for a pullback to the space of about 1112 to 1117 high. So rejection from the 1141 to 1150, then come back to 1112 to 1117, long position, and let it rip. Right, so yeah, this could be in a reaccumulation phase, and it could very well have marked the very bottom now. Okay, what I am curious of is the overall price action, though. Where has this been? Let me see on the daily. Okay, so I mean, it has since 2020. This is a very clear break of market structure here. Okay, so this is looking very nice. And let me touch on one more thing here. I see. Okay. So first of all, silver cross on the daily. All right, price action has been following the EMA 21. The thing now is that there is some weakness here, of course, is because we're pensive about one more thing. Let me show you what that is. Okay, let me get rid of the all the other moving averages, right? So this is what I'm looking at now. See the converging of the SMA 50 and SMA 200? Golden cross is about to happen. I said this last week too, that we're going to start seeing like a broader market. I mean, I'm talking about a market-wide shift in price action, and we're going to start seeing golden crosses, whereas the SMA 50 over the 200-day crosses all throughout the board, right? So that's essentially what I'm kind of looking at right now. And that upon this cross may get an upside here to potentially 1480. Okay, so upon that cross, yeah, we can see a further upside up to 1480 and then reject and then come back down. I'm talking about capitulate to the area of about $8.55 to where the SMA 50 could be located, validate the 50 and the golden cross, and then continue to the upside. So the conservative trader will actually wait for a pullback from $14 if he's not a swing trader, or I'm sorry, a day trader, right? So if you're looking to get long this as in like investment, or I'm sorry, as in long-term swing play, then yeah, I would wait for the pullback from 1483, which by the way could be a massive gainer if you're just day trading, right? and then actually wait back for the pullback to the area of where I said, literally right around maybe 873, around there. Okay, and that would be your long entry for a continuation to the upside, as this is a clear break of market structure. Huge upside here from the previous the previous higher low structure, right? So, and yeah, so now it's definitely in a different shift now. Okay, ticker symbol root looking very good. Okay, so yeah, guys, I would keep this one in. I would definitely keep this one in mind. Okay, so we're potentially catching it early, but I mean, to be very honest with you, if you were to bank on that 1480 touch, that is a 32% move to the upside. Get out of here. I'm taking it, right? So, of course, I'm not longing it, guys. I'm just saying. All right, so, yeah, everything is indicative of that potential. And very, very close to creating a golden cross here on the daily. Super close. That's going to be very, very awesome. Okay, so, oh man, I'm sorry, bro. I know you were telling me so many freaking times to take a look at that, what was it, right? The ticker, come on, where is it? The NVOS. Sorry, man. Let's see. I know Sebastian's over there knocking, right? We're right at the entry zone. Okay, you guys, this is it. What I was looking for here was essentially this drop right into the zone here, and that could actually, I mean, this. I said specifically, right, 1440 to 1462 potential entry, right, with a stop loss set to that 1429. Okay, so this is it right now. Okay, this is already position entry, and currently sitting just like minus 0.0014 down. Right, you guys? So if we are to look at a potential bounce, it can happen from the one spot 618 at 1436. This is essentially the entry that I was speaking of, right, before a continuation to the upside. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on NVOS. It's looking pretty good. Let me look at the immediate short-term time frame. There should still, oh, man, it's starting to correct. Let me see the hourly. 15 minutes should be upside. Yeah, okay. And the 5 minute, let's see. Yeah, there's still a little bit of downside to go, you guys, which is literally what I was talking to you about. Potential drop to that bottom side of the range here to be 1440. Right, let me see the bi-hourly time frame momentum, downside on that. Okay, and starting to diminish the downsides on every time frame after that. Okay, so that new cycle, if it does find a bounce from this demand zone here at 1436, could actually start reversing to the upside. Momentum, I mean. Okay, so remember that I play very tight stop losses, guys. So this was this is the play here, right? So I'm looking at a minus 2.39% stop. That is very, very, very aggressive and tight stop, because I'm not willing to lose any more than that, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't actually set this down to maybe a 3.5% or a 4%, maybe even a 5%. It really all depends on your style and your ability to withstand pressures against your preferred direction of price. Right, so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. But this is essentially the entry zone that we were talking about on Friday, and we just got it right now. So let's just see how price action reacts to this. It's already slowing down. I can see the volatility minimizing like freaking crazy right now, and that's always a potential, to finding a floor. It's always indicative of finding a potential floor. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. So Flame saying I'm currently stuck in Rain and GTBP. If you can check them out for me, please. I believe the plays are still in check. Yeah, we've been looking at the other one. But let me look at, which one did you say? Rain, right? I have not seen that one, actually. So check it out, you guys. BBBYQ meeting our targets perfectly. Nice. Let's pull it up. Let me just get a quick sip of water, guys. I'm super parched. Just a moment. Cool deal. Okay, so right, we're gonna move on to. We never even saw Wolf, man. Come on, what's going on here, right? So, Root was one that we were gonna look at, right? I want to make sure that I can remember this, guys. My apologies, right? So let me see. Ticker symbol WULF as well, right? I know that we want to take a look at those tickers that you are currently at a weird positioning, right? So Rain and GTBP. So let me put them in some type of order here. Yep, guys, check it out. We're getting that upside on Viri, just like we talked about. Good things in line here. Okay, so let me move on and take a look. Let me load the tickers, right? That's what I want to do essentially. So where's GTBP? I know that we had it up here somewhere, right? But if we don't have it, we'll just load it up again. Damn it. All right. Yeah, no problem. Let's go ahead and do GTBP. All right, we'll leave that right up here as well. We have Root to look at right now. And what was the other one? Somebody asked me to take a look at another ticker, right? That was US. Let's see. All right, and Rain, right? So that was the other one, and let's go ahead and list it here. Ticker symbol. Sorry, these mechanical keywords, man, they're so sensitive. All right, so I don't remember actually speaking of this ticker last. But it met around 50. It met one of the targets. It met the center of the. It met the center of the bull. So the take number 2. But anyway, let me hold on just a sec. Okay, let me go back into this thing because I have to take a look at SOUN 2, right? And this is SONN. Of course, I'm doing the same freaking mistake again, right? So yeah, let's make sure that we can get that SOUN up and running. And I just closed it out too by accident too. So, let's see. So you said, I apologize, Arca. I believe you showed me. Oh, we already took a look at that. So that's cool. Not a problem. So now I remember that now. So I just want to take it in order, right? Because there's a few people actually asking. Let's go back. And you said, all right. So let's start off with GTBP, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. Wolf actually came in first. So yeah, ticker symbol Wolf. Did we actually realize that top side, right? So this candle here is actually from today, and that potential breakout was already kind of figured, right? So this is the way that you can tell if the target was already met, right? So take a trend line from the top side of the range of the channel that you're in to the bottom side, and then apply that to the first candle breakout. So which could have been right at about here. This is the candle that broke out and closed, right? The target that it was that I was saying for objective was 193, and today we reached 194. So that was an absolute perfect execution here, and of course it prints. This is right now, you guys. This printed an 8-hour shooting star. That's definitely bearish. Right, and now the thing is that there's one more thing happening. Let me see the opening value of this candle. That's 180. What's the closing of this one? The closing of this one is 180. Okay, so yeah, no, this is a bearish formation. Usually a pretty strong downside comes after a shooting star, after an upside, right? So naturally, this is the pullback that we're getting. Now, where is the pullback leading to? That's where I'm afraid to say the following. Okay, so usually when we get a breakout out of a channel like this, there is a retracement to follow, and sometimes that can lead all the way back down to the converted resistance into support. So that has a high potential of coming back down to around 151, which makes me feel that Bitcoin is facing a slight downside right now, which could be a reaccumulation, which is normal. Actually, it's been pumping to the upside pretty consistently, so it's only normal for it to take a breather. This, if you're in the green here, let's just say it like this. If I were in the green, I would have already liquidated position upon this print of this candle here. The shooting star candle, right? So, and then I would have waited. I would wait here for a way cheaper price, compound in. Right, so I would wait literally to come back down to, first of all, I would scale in entries, right? So potentially right down here would be entry number 1 between the areas of 158 and 160, right? And then the secondary entry would be literally located down here at about let me see if I can be as precise as I can. Yeah, actually it would be 150, but it is a range. So 150 to about 152 would be the secondary loading zone, right? So that's essentially what I would be looking at. Okay, so just like that. Yes, absolutely. And another way that we can validate this too is just to stack up some more validators. It would be the inverse fib, right? So first, 146 to 150 on our discretionary target. That's very close to the 2-spot 618. And even the top side of the range here at 152. Look at the 2-spot 272 at 153. And I would have to. I honestly think that there is a serious chance here of getting this downside over the next couple days or few days. So keep an eye on that, okay? So, Batter, what's up, man? Batter, how's it going? So saying, hola muchachos, hello Arca, thanks for another great session. If there's any time left, can we look in the kid pick? What is that? So it looks like it's having a steady climb today. Small profits now, but don't want to sell too soon. Let's see, hit the likes for Arca. Everybody, thank you so much, my brother. Those are very nice wishes. And team. So watch out for ticker symbol wolf. Is looking temporary bearish. This could actually present a pretty nice opportunity. Actually, your validation would be 171 to 174 potential entry. That could be. You can get short the market between this area here and then bet the downside. Temporary cover, or you can do a scale out cover, right? 158 to 160. Potential 45% position, even 60% position, even 80% position, and let your runners run, right, to the better part of about 150 to 152 full liquidation zone there, right? So that it could be a nice short play with validations, right? So 171 to 174 hourly candle closure beneath that area there, that would essentially serve as a potential downside here to the next inflection area. This would be the next invalidation zone. 158 to 160, that could drop the price down to about 150 and then retrace. Okay, this would be the validation for longs here. Okay, so shorts do not get in here. 151, that is not your area. Okay, that would present severe losses to your portfolios. Okay, so guys, I speak like this is because we're talking about not naked shorts, not synthetic shorts. I'm talking about normal short positions, right? The healthy kind, not the illegal kind. All right, so as the markets do have that capital up and down, right? So we have to identify and know both sides of the team, offense and defense, right? We want to know how each side is played so we can, it doesn't matter if you're going to short or not, the point is that you know how to, so that you can gain a deeper edge in the play. You don't want to you don't want to be, in a basketball team and then just only know defense. And then what happens when your offensive positions are required? What's going to happen there? Well, you're going to lose, right? Because you don't know offense. So you must know the short bias like the long bias. Okay, here's the validation number 1, guys, 171 to 174, just like we said, right? Potential validation at 174. This could be a good short. This could be a good zone to short the market. Okay, this is very close to it. All right, so I would be very careful with what you're looking at here. In other words, if you are reaching 174 and also the zone that I'm at right now, this is what I meant. If you're in the money, this is an area for probably bulls to consider a position or a liquidation position for now, right? Compound that cash, compound that gain. You've been riding it from all the way down here. Take that green, right? Let it ride back down, get a discount, re-enter, and then, you get a better position. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, right? So we're looking at GTBP and RAIN as there is. I know my buddy up here. My goodness, what am I doing here? Okay, here we go. Okay, I forgot who actually said it, right? I think it was Flame who was talking about these tickers. So let's go ahead and look over the position one more time, as I don't remember what I said, right? So ticker symbol GTBP. Looks like it still has some immediate short-term downside to consider. 5 minute time frame momentum. I gotta say it's not strong enough. We don't have enough thrust here on the 5 minute. This has to be exponential. Like, it has to be a pretty significant upside in order for it to start bleeding into the 15, into the 30 minute even. Okay, so let me see the bi-hourly time frame into the 4 hour. Okay, consolidation is happening right now, you guys. There's a if this is doing what I'm thinking, then it's consolidating here to create a potential bear flag. Okay, so if this is a bear flag here, then, or even a dead cat bounce, then the targets that we should be looking at are in fact down to about 27.96. Okay, so 27.96 could be a very strong zone for to get long the market, but there is also a heavier implication here. And 1 2 and 1 2. Okay, yeah, there is a heavier downside to keep into consideration here. Take a trend line, like I said, right? Perfectly horizontal across the channel. Apply it to your breakout candle, and that takes you to just a not so fortunate target, right? Of about 1988. It doesn't always happen like this, but it's a good way to indicate what could be happening, right? So you can see that there was the break outside. Let me get rid of this here and open it up just like this, right? So you can see here that there was a clean break outside of the support line from the channel, reclaim the inside, validate the support, as a resistance, or the newly converted support into resistance, and then a downside can continue. In other words, not only a bear flag, but a dead cat bounce, right? So a dead cat bounce also has a psychological target to figure, just like this. So you can take a trend line from the top side of that dead cat, and you apply it to this zone down here, and it looks like it would take us to around the zone of about 2760. Okay, so if there's going to be an area to consider for a bounce, there is a range there. Okay, 2760 to the bottom side of this wick here. That would be your support range. And upon that bounce, highly likely to come back up to the zone of about 2964 and then continue capitulation. Okay, so that's typically how the plays happen. Of course, anything is possible within this within these markets, but it's still within a very bullish formation. I'm not sure why it would actually capitulate down here, as there's no reason for it to, right? Unless it's just being highly manipulated at this point, then that could be it, right? So anyway, that is it for ticker symbol GTBP. Let's look at RAIN. Ticker symbol RAIN actually showing some strength right now. Not bad. It's okay, it's at 127. The low of day actually, well, let me see the daily candle right instead. So I mean, because we're currently sitting minus 3% on the day right now. So 124 was the bottom side of this, right? So I'm gonna we already realized the top side target based on the second set of bulls here, so that's already good. We can dismiss this and see what could be happening, right? So where is oh, the price action is up here. Okay, let me mark off that top side resistance just like this. I just want to know that it's there. Okay. All right, so I have to say that the sole reason that we're not failing this downside here is because of the gap, because of the daily gap here. So that's our temporary support and inflection zone, right? Just like this. This is a very strong area of demand. We're consolidating within this chop zone here. We're just really not favoring any side here. Terrible price action, as there's low volatility. I can see there's no movement, and check this out. Actually, this tells you just how much volatility there is. Oh goodness, come on, man. Here we go, and let's make it larger. This is zeroed out. There's really nothing happening, and the moving average is still facing a downside into critical contraction. Okay, so that's how I'm able to tell that there's really nothing actually moving, right? The current volume on the day is 378,000. Holy goodness. Opposed to 1.2 million, almost 3 million here, 7.5 million there, 2.5 million here, 1.3 million there, 1.6 million there, 300,000 here. it's just incredibly low. I hate it when this happens because this forces people to kind of get trapped for a bit, right? So if there's anything to kind of consider here, I guess it would be the immediate short term. It's just when volatility kind of slows down like this, it really kind of impairs my ability too, right? So we still have a little bit of downside and still decreasing volatility in an immediate short-term time frame. That's that couldn't be more annoying than anything else. So see, hourly time frame also showing a potential consolidation too. Oh my goodness. Bi-hourly also with a slight upside, but consolidation more than anything. And look at this MACD. It's been trapped there. It says no action. Hold on, guys. I need to check on my son. I think I heard his voice. Let me just make sure that he's cool, right? I just want to make sure that he's okay. I got to pull up the camera. Where's the camera? Here we go. All right. And let me go back to the charts here and see what's going down, right? Here we go. Pull the little guy up. Man, actually, you know what? There's also something else that we can maybe see. So this is the monthly time frame. I want to see if there's anything that we can get creative with. Literally anything. Okay. We are in an ascent, right? So let me get rid of this. First of all, let me just see what the 175 would be, the bottom side of the Gaussian band. 175, 175. So right at around here. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, this needs significantly more push in order for it to even continue to the upside, right? Let me bring down the time frames. I'm gonna get as close as I can to whatever, to anything, right? I'm literally looking for anything at this point. There it is. Okay. That's why we faced the downside that we did, other than fundamental catalysts, of course. But the price action ended up testing the mean band of the Gaussian channel ever so perfectly. In fact, the mean band is located at about 97.07. It came down to 94.01 and bounced to the upside from there. Okay, so if there is a resistance to follow here within the next few weeks, that would be pretty high. I would say upwards of 163 to 166, where the four spot 618 and the 4 spot 236 are located. Okay, so, but for the immediate short term, that's looking like, I mean, how the heck are we going to get this thing to finally just move to the upside, right? As it's consolidating in a very, very, if I were you, I would actually start looking into the company specifics. There has to be something that people are waiting for here. Okay, so another thing that I could mention here is that there's bullish signals, there's bullish signals on this, right? It's just we have to find out why this is sitting like this. So I would start looking into the company fundamentals. I'm not sure what could be happening here. There's something pensive though. Somebody's waiting for something. Okay, so, and that's the only thing, that's literally the best that I can come up with as to why this thing has literally halted. It has stopped. Right, so just be real careful with this, by the way. Okay, so I'm happy that we were at least able to look at it, right, team? So, okay, yeah, ticker symbol Wolf. God, ooh, man, this is still within the targets, guys. I don't know if it did it within the last 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Oh, it actually almost did, right? We're talking about a top side of 174. It reached 172. Okay, so this is where I'm telling you to maybe consider getting short the market, right? So that would be. That would be those zones there. Anyway, so yeah, let me go back to a couple things here. Let's see what Very's doing, right? Yeah, very, very much recovering, just like we said, and continuing onwards and upwards. So let me actually come right back here. SMA 50 holding off very nice, guys. This is literally what we spoke about, right? We literally spoke about retracement back to that SMA 50. We got 128. We didn't quite get that 122 that we were looking for, but there's no way I could have come up with that target myself, right? So that is good. Okay, we got that bounce to the upside. It's looking like it's starting to flash almost every time frame of momentum, so that's also very ideal. Okay, so hourly time frame, upside pivot on stochastics. We have increasing volatility, moving average still moving towards the upside. Here's the resistance that we're looking for, right? Relevant to the 4-hour time frame, I'm still looking for a resistance right upwards of about 153 to 155 to come back and test that 150 before a continuation. Okay, you guys, Very is looking pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Okay. So anyway, let me just, guys, I need to just take a look at the broader markets, and yes, we can take a look at EOSC. And my brother, you're talking about SOUN $10 plus. It's a little early to tell, but I can speculate with you, right? So, why did this stop there? Let me see. Oh, right, the EMA 21 is there. Nice, good. That means it's a temporary downside. Screw you. All right, perfect. Anyway, you guys, so let's go ahead and pull up ticker symbol EOSE. But just real quick to answer that question for you, SOUN is the one that you're talking about, right? So why are you asking me about $10 in the first place, right? So let me just see here what we could be looking for. Okay, so I mean, this is in all technicality, this is kind of a inverse herp and derp, right? We have a inverse head and shoulders. And if we were to keep a psychological target on that, then there is pretty high potential here. It could be indicative of testing the all-time high of about 1814, but this is the weekly candle. So this is, we're talking about, I mean, at least a few months out. Right, yeah, it's indicative of testing the top side, the all-time high again. And weekly moving average is below the bars of volume, so that's not bad. I'm curious on the future high targets, right? So, okay. Yeah, I would say the most obvious target to look at is between the space of 495 and 506. Those are the most obvious targets to look at within the month, right? So if FOMO applies, then yeah, that's okay. There are several areas to combat here too. Okay, particularly the zone of 579 to 679. That is a very strong secondary resistance, right? Because the primary resistance is located right here, 790 to about 871. That right there is the strongest zone that needs to be combated. So in other words, if we're able to start closing a weekly candle upside of the 871 section, then the probability of reaching a further move to the upside, $18, $19, becomes highly probable. But as long as we are below this zone here, then we are technically in bear territory, despite the fact that we're looking at continuations to the upside. But, I mean, look at the weekly time frame RSI. We have huge upside. I mean, in the MACD, moving average moving to the upside, and also volatility. Notice here that the EMA 3 is moving upside of the SMA 14. Everything's looking good for SOUN, to be very honest. Right, so there's going to be a natural ebb and flow, right? But I can see this in the next 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6 months, reach the top side of about $8, $8.71 to test that resistance. So yeah, keep your eyes on SOUN. I definitely think that it has some good stuff coming into it. I don't know. I know it's SoundHound, right? The AI, but I just don't know what it's doing fundamentally, and I frankly don't care. Because I play short term, nothing really matters in the short term, except Jerome Powell and a forced share recall. Right, team? But it's all good. It's all good. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker for my buddy here. Who was it? William Sides, right? We're gonna go ahead and take a look at EOSE. I want to make sure that I can, make sure not to forget my, some of those requests. Look at that, guys. Very, very awesome price action here, especially on the 5-day time frame. So this is another one of those that is actually facing an inverse head and shoulders, right? So this thing actually does have, a pretty nice upside target to look at. If this tends to kind of retail likes it when I talk about things like this, right? This is your neckline here. So let's go ahead and take a trend line from the top side of the range here all the way to the bottom side of the head, right there, and let's apply it to the top of the shoulder, right? So when we apply it to the top of the shoulder, which by the way we're starting to break out of right now, is taking us to a very, very highly relevant resistance, which is right here. Literally the opening valuation of this candle is so close, 1110 right there, and this is what, 1116, right? So very, very curious for it to take us to that target there, as it is a higher likelihood for us to reach, right? And another thing you can see this as is not only the inverse herpy-derpy, but it's also a little freaking stupid cup and handle, right? I hate those cups and handles. I hate the inverse head and shoulders here and there, man. But we have to keep them into consideration, right? Especially if enough sentiment believes in it, right? So right now, you guys, there's a clean break of market structure here. Very impressive break right now. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you here is that it would be a highly ideal for us to at least get a wick upside of 506. If we can get it to 507, 510, that would be an official break of market structure in a very macro sense, which would indicate an overall reversal for this ticker, right? So let me go to the daily time frame and see what the moving averages are saying, because there's highly likely some very interesting averages to take a look at, right? So in fact, there is, guys. Okay, so we have the reclaiming of a silver cross right down here, and we have the overall golden cross happening in let's see, that was March 24th. Okay, so this is macro bullish. Okay, so if there is going to be some type of pullback at any time, then I would suggest the top side of this validation, right? So this area here would mark off the support zone at around 329 if we were to pull back, right? So yeah, there's high relevance in that 329 almost everywhere. Okay, so but as of the immediate short term, let's go ahead and take a look at that potential, right? So 30-minute time frame does have a little bit of downside here. Critical volatility in BBWP. Expansive, meaning that there is a lot of shares being traded. Very healthy growth here on the hourly time frame using the EMA 55 and the EMA 21 as a guide and support towards that upside. Okay, that's very impressive. Now, see how we have this upside, this massive upside on the hourly? That is usually what I look for, because that right there would actually get the bi-hourly, the 4-hour, and the 6-hour, maybe even the 8 and 12 with this kind of push to be influenced to the upside. Let's go ahead and take a look and validate that. Bi-hourly time frame upside in the bullish control zone. Very nice. Critical volatility. We're approaching it. 4-hour time frame. Upside pivot. We have increasing volatility as well. 6-hour time frame. We have still a downside. Okay, so right now the 4-hour time frame would actually have to push just ever so slightly further to the upside to influence the 6-hour time frame and then the 8-hour and above, right? So what the good thing is that we are getting a clear indication that we may actually continue to the upside here based on this bullish cross. First of all, the MACD also getting a very strong bullish bar here and a very aggressive upside continuation. We are breaking upside of the SMA 14 on the RSI 6-hour period. So this is great. Okay, this is all indicating a potential upside continuation. Okay, so if we're looking at the 15-minute, there could be a short-term downside, which is honestly the opportunity to get long the market. Okay, so if I were to look at a relevant downside, I would say around the space of about 407 to the EMA 21 on the 5 minute to 406, but we would have to pull back first. We have to meet 418 and then pull back to the zone and then bounce. All right, so let's see, and yeah, that's about it for EOSC. As far as ups, I guess you know what, I can give you some upside targets. Yeah, upon that validation, absolutely, we can see a touch up all the way up to maybe 499, 496, about $5, which I mean, honestly, from the current price action, may be a nice boost, right? So let's just see. From the current price all the way to that $5 is a 20% move to the upside. That is not too shabby. That is absolute awesomeness everywhere. Although EOSC is actually presenting a more of a bullish macro outlook, but knowing the absolute trend, right? If this thing is actually about to start making a macro reversal to the upside for the next months, then I would be playing the ranges. I wouldn't be actually holding, right? So sorry guys, I'm over here just stretching like a madman. Yeah, we're gonna have to close up here, guys, but let's look at that question real quick. You are talking about 149 entry on Viri. Arca, can you please make a comment on this? Thank you for your support. Of course, I'm not going to talk to you about entries, right? But I'm going to see, I'm going to see what that potential could be. So you're talking about 149. This 149, I think, would be a great entry after a pullback, though. If you're holding for a swing, let's see. That's not nearly enough of a gain. If you're trading a $100,000 account, $80,000 to $150,000 account, this would be incredibly lucrative for you to enter the market now and wait for a pullback 4% up. 4 points up on a $100,000 entry, that's massive. Okay, but if we're trading smaller accounts, I would strongly wait for the pullback. Meaning that you're going to let this thing pump to 155, let it pull back to 149, even to the space of about 150, validate it with an hourly candle, maybe a 4-hour candle closure above the area of 149, get long the market, ride the upside. Okay, you don't want to ride it right now because there's a resistance level just 4% up is going to fake you out, right? So you'd rather stay cash. You'd rather stay cash and then get that resistance. This is why I'm telling you there's a resistance. Look at this. Further validator. We have an upside pivot on the 4-hour time frame. SMA 14 located right up there. High potential here to face a rejection and then come back down to look at other targets. You can potentially even get a better entry, right? So 149, I would say to the space of about 144. Okay, so I would honestly just kind of give it a quick little wait, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at. So FNGR holding so well above 380. I got some at 410 earlier. Wonder if I should load here. So FNGR, my bro, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So I was telling you, man, the support from the 2 spot 618 golden mean, that's a very strong support, right? So I'm happy that you're considering a potential re-entry. But wait for it, because there may be a further downside, okay? And I would actually have to favor, if it doesn't matter to you, I'm favoring 375 to about 368. I know that it may not reach it, but I'm just saying that it could wick down there at some point. Okay, so just keep an eye on that, all right? So it might not. Yeah, that's why I'm literally saying the same thing, Cryptic. I see an ascending wedge on the hourly. Yeah, I see it too here too. Actually, from the 30-minute, I definitely see it right here. So if you're looking at a downside from that, then it may as well actually test 334. So keep that in mind. All right. So there is a gap here at 331 to 325. All right. So just in case, just keep your eyes on it though. So Kemi, what's up with you? Let's go ahead and sorry guys, just a sec. You're talking about ticker symbol. What was it? Tickers. Okay, LOV. Yeah, let's look at it real quick. Look at that. EOSC playing that play. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick before we close out, guys. Ticker symbol LOV. And let's see. How come crypto down a red day? Timmy, because there is Jerome Powell speaking, right? Also because of the tensions happening abroad with the troops lining up, with the whole Ukraine issue, that whole thing. Also because we're way overextended. It's set to pull back ever so slightly. That it's temporary though. It went to $30-something thousand. That's ridiculous. All right, so LOV, let's see what it's got. So that's going to be Spark Networks, and that is NASDAQ ticker, right? So 4-hour time frame already printing a little bit of a bearish shooting star here, which is usually indicative of a continuation, of a pullback. All right, so if the 4-hour time frame does realize with this downside, then there could be a very nice reaccumulation zone at about 2593. So 2593 would actually be a very, very good entry, seeing that the 4-hour time frame is already suggesting an upside with critical volatility. I'm not sure that I can reach that low now, to be very honest with you. So let me see the bi-hourly and the hourly. Okay, damn it. Okay, so there is actually a range to take into account here for long positions, right? So let me show you real fast. That would be right down here. I would say the space of about 3098 to 3252 could be a nice zone for reaccumulation, right? So, but let me see how far we have. There we go. So 30 minutes. You see how we have downside here, and 15 minute. Let me see if we have downside. Yeah, 15 minute also downside. So I'm talking immediate short-term time frame. This could actually realize today, and you may be able to catch some downside down there, right? So of course I'm talking about paper trading. I'm not talking about trading live cash. Never, guys. All right. So BTC heading to 35,000 real fast. Yeah, I think so. We just have a little bit of a pullback coming in. Natural ebb and flow, right? Just to reaccumulate, allow some bulls to enter the market, to get long the market, and then push again. So the 15-minute time frame is about to fail this inflection zone here too. Okay, so yeah, I would have to favor this downside. Okay, so this here, entry at around 3098 to 3252. This could present a pretty nice opportunity for you. And let's just say that you did catch entry at the top side. Let's just say you caught entry here, right? The more obvious targets to look at for resistance is obviously this candle here on the 15-minute. Huge upside, right? So that would, let's just say that you took profit ever so slightly away from that. Not to the top side of it. That's a 15% move to the upside. Day traders are usually trading 3 to 7%. So, all right. So now another thing to look at here is if you did take it to the next area of resistance, which would be this 15-minute gap, you're looking at a long here of about almost 30%. And then the third most obvious target would be located right at the closing or the opening valuation of this red candle, which would be 48.18. Yeah, 48.10. 47.90. 48% move to the upside. Get out of here. That is ridiculous. Very nice move to the upside there. All right, there we go. Price action continuing to the downside. Very likely going to touch down into this area here. Keep your eyes on it. And Kemi saying, nice, thank you. You're very welcome. Happy to help. Happy to help. All right, my team. So I think this is a pretty good place to leave off for today. I mean, markets are hopefully recovering, right? We're right at the EMA 21 and the TQQQ facing a little bit of support. The SPY may still have a little bit of space to drop down to 430.20. Apologies, losing my voice here. Right, RCRT is actually looking at that resistance still at about that 25. We have that EMA 21 and 55 located there. Okay, you guys be careful with that. If you're curious about ticker symbol VERY, still moving onwards and upwards, right? I mean, this is good stuff. Daily resistance coming up at the SMA 14, very much indicative of testing 173. Okay, you guys. So if that's going to be the case, then now we know what to prepare for. All right, team. But yeah, I'll try to put out a few videos today, guys. I think I'm going to make my formal announcement of a partnership with COSM tonight on a video, right? And Cosmos Health, COSM, ticker COSM, right? And then also I will go ahead and try to put up some plays. It's getting a little dangerous right now, guys, because we do have some economic data coming out, right? So we have to be careful with that. We have Powell speaking, and oh my goodness, man, that always just shakes things up. It's just another reason to capitulate the markets. All right, team. So yeah, team, thank you everybody for coming by. Appreciate you, Sebastian Lim. I appreciate everybody in here. Opium, Timmy, Rosie Gray Glasses. Always good to see you all here. Okay, massive congrats on your partnership. Thank you, Hopium. Thank you so much. I hope to actually gather maybe another 3 to 5 companies in partnership like that, so that the companies pay me instead of retail, right? This way we can maintain the Discord free, we can maintain these live streams free, all of that stuff, and just let them pay our Arca, right? That would be the cleanest way, I think, you guys, right? So I can continue providing some cool services here to retail, because I know that we're much in need of it. All right, team. So, yeah, but with that said, team, I wish you all Well, so your analytics are amazing, says Hopium. Rocket Lock, thank you so much, Arca. Not a problem, bro. I really appreciate everybody for coming by. I love that we got all this participation here. The Bled, always good to see you here. So yeah, not a problem, Sebastian. I got you, my friend. And thank you also for all the help that you're currently helping me with, right? So we'll continue chatting about that stuff. But anyway, you guys, take care. Have a very good rest of your day, and I'll go ahead and check you out one more time later on tonight with some videos, right? We'll post up some updates. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your day, and I will catch you at the bell, mañana team. Adios, guys. Peace out.